down. It's too high. Mandla. Mandla. Mayibuye. Mayibuye. I-Africa. I-Africa. Siphathe comrade Floyd Shibambu siphathe. Siphathe Floyd Shibambu siphathe. Thank you very much, comrades. You can sit down. Greetings to all the fighters of this country, the leaders of today, not tomorrow, the youth of South Africa. We welcome you, and it's an honor to have the people that will be taking over this country soon. We are going to ask our deputy organizer to open with prayer before we start, so that this day is blessed. Comrade Lendi Spires.
Hello. Good afternoon, comrades. Let us please bow our heads and maybe stand up. Heavenly Father, we are coming to you today on a very special day. A day that is marked by the young people of the continent of Africa. A day which is marked by the day that the Mayibuye consultation process is bringing a structure that we will be inaugurating very soon. And these young people that is here today, we are praying, my God, they are the future of us as a nation in South Africa. We're praying, my God, that everything that we are doing here, let it be successful to your honor and prayer. Amen.
Amen and amen. Amen means it is done. When two or more gather in prayer, the Holy Spirit and the presence of God is present, and the prayer is guaranteed that the Almighty has heard us. To the young people sitting here today, I want to tell you that today is not by accident that you are gathered here today. You are here because we are creating history. You are part of history. As we know that June 16 is celebrated here in South Africa because of young people that stood together to fight what was wrong in the country. So I want to guarantee you that today is part of history. We are going to ask our Treasurer General, Comrade Menzi, to introduce everyone that is here. And then after him, we are going to ask the National Convener to start the program of today. Thank you very much.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva Mayibuye, viva. Mayibuye, i-Africa. Viva Young Lions, viva. Viva Mtomusha, viva. Viva Mtomusha wase South Africa, viva. Comrade, it's in my pleasure today to be here. I feel young if I'm within the Young Lions. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our national leadership that is here with us, that is leading the Mayibuye consultation process. My name is Menzi Makubane. I'm serving as a fundraiser in the office of the Treasurer General of Mayibuye process, of Mayibuye consultative processes. Today, we will be listening from you together with the leadership that I will be introducing. I will start here. The lady that gave us a prayer, it's our deputy organizer, national organizer, Comrade Lindy Spires, all the way from Western Cape. Thanks a lot for the prayer. And I will go right in front of her. We've got our Imbogoto, a beautiful lady all the way from KwaZulu-Natal, who is leading the women's wing, because we've got the women's wing, the women's formation, Comrade Nonhlanhla Dlamini. Then I'll be coming right to her left. At the back seat there, we've got a beautiful gentleman that we are serving together as a fundraiser in the Office of Treasurer General, Comrade Tsepo Mahanuke, all the way from Bushbuck, but he's here in Gauteng. On his far left, we've got our Deputy National Coordinator, Comrade Luther Lubelo. He's around here in the province of Gauteng. Right next to him, we've got our engine in the Office of Secretary General, our National Coordinator, Comrade Spephile Mahlaba, all the way from KwaZulu-Natal, residing at eThekwini region. I believe that the beautiful queen that is driving the program, she's already introduced herself, but I'll be happy and pleased to introduce her. That is our first deputy convener, national convener, Comrade Nolbabalo Mtinga, all the way from Eastern Cape. We are so lucky and blessed that today we've got our national activist when it comes to youth, who normally goes out and make awareness from school to school, correctional services, especially juveniles, because he's got the passion when we talk about youth. Then when he sees, or when he saw this particular invitation today, he decided to come and be part and parcel of the youth, because he likes to invest a lot to the youth. Ngizofuna ukum-introduce nge-nickname, abaningi bamazi ngo-Skim GP, uThemba umfowethu, all the way from Israel, but he's here in Gauteng. Amandla, Amandla, Mayibuye, i-Africa. Thanks a lot, comrades.
Thank you very much, TG. The way we love young people are the future. But young people that are involved in politics become leaders of now. They become leaders of today. As young people of this land, we must know that our voices must be heard. Our hands must build, not tomorrow, but now. Our dreams must be realized now. Like the young people of the past, like the young people, like our national convener, who started politics at a very young age. And look where he is right now. The whole country is shaken by his decisions, is shaken by his presence. And he started at your age. So today, we are having a consultation process with the youth of South Africa. If you have been following the Mayibuye consultation process, you saw that we started with churches, pastors, traditional leaders, kings, professionals, and we could not leave out the youth because the youth are the engine of this vehicle that we are starting. You are the ones that are energetic in singing, in dancing, in everything. So there is no way that we could have left the young people. So today we are consulting with you. We want to hear from your side, what are the issues that you have? What kind of a country that you would love South Africa to be? And are you also saying that, does the country need a new political party? And if so, what is it that you as young people want in this new vehicle, in this new political party or movement? So this induction marks the beginning of a new political, spiritual, economic awakening in our lives. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to call our national convener, Comrade Floyd Shibambu, to greet and also just elaborate why young people are so important to be called also and to have a separate meeting. Masimphakamisa ngengoma uComrade Floyd Shibambu. Nkosi. Iyole welele wenyamasa. Welele wenyamasa. Welele
Amandla, Mayibuye, Africa, Mayibuye, Africa. No, thank you very much, Comrade Nolu Babalo Mcinga, who is one of the two deputy national conveners of the Mayibuye consultation process. The leadership has been introduced here. But I want to greet all of you, comrades, young people who came to join us here. And they've already introduced my brother, Temba, Scheme GP. He is one of our old. So we really appreciate that he got to join us in this process. We should do this because it's a necessary organizational discipline issue that we have youth from different provinces, and we should have had young people from all provinces. And because we are broadcasting this live, we know that there is youth from the Eastern Cape, from the Western Cape, from the Northern Cape, from KwaZulu-Natal, from the coastal provinces, who were supposed to have been made transport arrangements to come and join us for this process, because we had thought that the gathering of young people should be a national gathering, reflective and representative of all young people from all provinces. But it was not to be so. We will constitute a platform where all young people from all provinces are adequately represented, because the discussions that we are going to have today are not just a consultation, it's also a discussion which we believe should be structured, where young people get to organize and lead themselves in the process from now henceforth. And it would have been much more appropriate if all the provinces were represented here. I think there was miscommunication from those who were supposed to deal with the travel arrangements for all the young people, because we got a lot of young people who expressed the interest to participate in this process, but also the leadership of Mayibuye in all the provinces had submitted the names and had communicated with the young people that they are going to come to Johannesburg today so that they can make input. But nevertheless, comrades, we appreciate that those of you who came here arrived from different areas. Some you came by yourselves, some there was transport that was arranged. I understand that there are still people who are going to come from Gauteng to come and join all of us. We have called this meeting, comrades, to listen to young people in terms of the process that we're engaged in now of a possible formation of a political movement or a political party that is going to represent the future of South Africa, because we believe that the existing political parties are not representing young people properly. That is why we then said, let us talk to all the people of South Africa on the possible formation of a new political movement, a political party which will represent all the people of South Africa. Because politics play a very important role in the lives of our people. Politics are central to access to economic and social resources. So the basic things that we gain access to, be it education, be it jobs, be it access to meaningful economic participation, you need properly run political life and politics in society. And it is our firm view and conviction that those who are mandated with running politics, who are running government, are not doing so properly. Hence, we want to talk to all the people to constitute a new political movement. We have been in conversation with different sectors in different provinces. Then we thought that today we should pause to talk to young people. You know, when we say this is a meeting of youth and students, we must understand, despite the age categorization of who youth is, we should understand what is the globally accepted definition of youth. So when they say you are youth, you must know that, what does that mean? The understanding that is accepted globally, even by the United Nations, is that youth refers to people who are in transition from childhood dependence to adulthood independence. Are we together, guys? Are we together? So the people who are in transition from childhood dependence to adulthood independence are referred to as youth. So it means you are not children. Youth is not children. Children are fully dependent on their parents for everything. But also you are not adults. So you are in that transitional phase. And what are the things that happen in that transitional phase? You need to have access to quality education. You are taking decisions on how your future must look like. And part of the decisions that you take in that transitional phase has to be political decisions, so that you are not led by wrong politics in society. In South Africa, we are very lucky that in our history of resistance against colonialism and apartheid, there's always been a very important role that was played by the youth. Do you know the resistance to colonial settlement were led by young people everywhere? Those who were warriors against colonial invasion were young people who said, we cannot allow colonial invaders to take over our land. Even when that struggle mutated or grew to take a political form, at the forefront of those who came with ideas of how to resist colonial settlement were young people. So the ANC, it was called, when it was founded, it was called the South African Natives National Congress, was founded by a young person, Pixley Isaac Assem. He was still in the transitional phase, or the category referred to as youth. And when the South African Natives National Congress was not radical enough to confront apartheid and colonialism, it was young people within that movement that got to radicalize that the youth that got to radicalize the struggle against colonialism and apartheid. Included Nelson Mandela when he was still young. It included Robert Risha, Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe. It included Apim Dam, Kolisi Majumbos, Anton Lembede, Oliver Tambo. They gained prominence when they were young people. They were not always old. When they were young, they are the ones who said that let us leave this thing that we are going to negotiate with colonial settlers for our freedom. Let us take up arms and fight for our freedom. Let us take up arms to defend ourselves against the violent apartheid and colonial system that existed. When the liberation movement, the ANC, the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania was banned, it was young people under the leadership of Stephen Bantu Biko that revived the anti-apartheid and anti-colonial, anti-settler struggles here in South Africa. You know, yesterday we went to the memorial site of Steve Biko, to his grave site. We went there together with his son, Hlumelo Biko, who is also the national spokesperson of Mayibuye. And we also went to the museum which has been built in Ginsberg, in the Eastern Cape, to tell the history of Steve Biko. Steve Biko played a very important role in the politics of South Africa. It's unfortunate that the Congress movement, particularly those who are associated with the politics of the ANC, after 1994, the manner in which they designed the education system and history, they got to suppress and make as if there was no any other person who was involved in the struggle against apartheid and colonialism except those who were members of the ANC. But if you were to go back to history and check the role that was played by the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania under Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, the anti-pass protest that was led in 1960 on the 21st of March, that led to this holiday we call Human Rights Day today. It's one of the most courageous battles that got to happen. June 16, which is Youth Day in South Africa, is due to the Black Consciousness Movement, which was led by Steve Biko. But if you were to go and read the ANC literature, you will think that it was only ANC people who fought against apartheid. And that is not true. Apartheid was fought by different formations. And amongst those that fought apartheid was Steve Bantu Biko, who died at the age of 30. But by the time he died at the age of 30, he had played a very important role in the politics of South Africa. He had led to the formation of an organization called the Black People's Convention, which was led by Winfred Khwari. Majority of the people don't even know who Winfred Khwari is. But she was the president of an organization which was uniting all black people. The Black Consciousness Movement had very substantial and impactful programs called Black Community Programs of health care, of jobs, of schools assistance, of the things which Mayibuye says we must do as part of our programs now. But none of those is told to our people because it's only the ANC history that is narrated to tell the story of the struggle against apartheid. But we are here now, comrades, we're going to not dwell much in history, but it's important that we reflect on that. We are here now as a generation, the youth that is alive today. The chances is that if it's 10 of us here, in the next 10, 15 years, only 3 of us are going to get a quality job. If it's the 10 of us here, under the current ANC conditions, if it's 10 of us here, within the next 10 to 15 years, 2 or 3 of us are going to be killed in violent crime. If it's 10 of us here, 2 of us are going to be imprisoned for one criminal activity or another. If it's 10 of us here, only one is guaranteed to gain access to a university or University of Technology or TVET college. Because we have got a South Africa which is unable to look after its own young people. South Africa does not have a plan for the youth. And these comrades were not saying because we are in Mayibuye. We have been saying this for many years. We have written many times as to how do we get to include young people in mainstream economic participation. How do we guarantee that young people have got access to post-secondary education and training? How do we change the education system so that when you leave matric, at least you must have some skill? But currently in South Africa, we have got an education system where you finish 12 years of schooling, but you don't have any skill. You can't even fix a car. You can't even replace the window pails when the windows are broken at home. You can't even participate in agriculture to grow some plants. This education system does not give us skills. 12 years of education without any skill. But if you go to China, to other parts of the world, from early age they teach them how to have skills. That is what we are confronted with. Every year, for the past 8 to 10 years, there is more than 1 million people, young people, who exit the secondary education system, either from matric or grade 11 or grade 10. But it's more than 1 million every year. But if you go to TVET colleges, universities of technology, and universities, all the combined spaces for first year are not even above 200,000 spaces. And there are those who must repeat the first year. What must happen every day to 800,000 young people every year who exit the secondary schooling system? Where should they go? What should they do? And that is the future that we do not want to live in. We are saying foundationally and in principle as Mayibuye that let us talk as to what do we do for young people? How do we define the future of young people in South Africa? How do we guarantee a future where the youth are guaranteed access to higher education and proper training? How do we guarantee a future where youth are guaranteed access to jobs? How do we guarantee a future where those that get into conflict with the law are taken through proper correctional processes and not left with a criminal record which will make them impossible to be employed or to work elsewhere in the future? That is what we need to talk about as a generation, as to how do we shape our future, because what we have can't be the future. How do we imagine a proper freedom and the future of South Africa without political parties that have failed our people? So, comrades, we said today we must meet to talk, even if you have never spoken anywhere in a political meeting. Today you must speak in any language that you are comfortable with. Even if you just have to ask, even if you are not sure about the question that you must ask, just ask. So this is what happens with politics. You won't understand everything in the first day. But with time, you will begin to appreciate that these things can be handled differently. So you're all welcome. I'm particularly glad that there is a proper combination of young people. It's not youth and Dala, because there are people who are very old who call themselves youth. A person who is youth, but they've got children and they've got a wife, they've got everything, they've got a bond to service, they've got all sorts of obligation. And then they are still in transition. So we want youth that is truly in transition and can say that now we can fight with everything. We can take bold decisions because we have got nothing to lose but our chains. Thank you very much, comrades, and welcome. Let's engage.
Thank you very much, National Convener, our Comrade President. Our Comrade President, I think he's supposed to be a lecturer. What do you think? Because when he starts to speak, we listen, because he has a wealth of knowledge and he plants seeds. I hope today he will plant more seeds when he answers your questions. The President mentioned Steve Biko. Steve Biko was 23 years old when he started the movement, the Black Consciousness Movement. Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela was the first female social worker at the age of 22, I think. And she was a fighter. She was a mobilizer of the youth, a fearless one at that age. So you are not here by chance. You are meant to be here because you are needed to take this country forward. So now we are going to move to our next phase of our induction, a phase where your voice matters. We are going to take some hands and you will have your inputs, you will ask your questions. As the comrade president said, even if you have never spoken before, today we want to hear your voice. Whatever that you think is inside of you, even if you think it's not a good question, say it, because we are here to listen to the youth. I'm going to start this side. May I please have hands from that row? Let's start with that row first. All right, I'm gonna, number one, the young lady there. And then number two, number three, number four. Then let's come to this row. Any hands? Number five, number six. All right, okay, we'll take those. Let's start with number one. Can we get the mic to the young princess there?
Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to the leadership.
Can you
Can you hear
please
me?
introduce yourself, where you come from, and your region, your ward?
All
Thank
right,
you very
my
much.
name is Lungile Miller, and I am from Gauteng, Joburg, Zone 11. All right, so I do want to raise a few things, really, which are quite close to my heart. The national convener earlier spoke about how maybe few of us will be able to even enter the university space. But a common problem that also happens is that the goalpost keeps moving. So you'll get your degree, and then you'll find out that you need 3 years of experience. And unfortunately, the way it is, we're not really exposed enough to opportunities that can grant us those experiences. So I also wanted to maybe propose that the youth or the student movement can actually collaborate with professionals and entrepreneurs in efforts to integrate these fresh graduates into the system so that they don't just have your textbook knowledge, but also be more exposed to the field, and it would be an opportunity for them to be integrated into the system. Another point that I did have was with regards to the ensuring that young people are idle, because it grants the opportunity for drugs to be basically injected into our youth. And the truth is that the youth is under attack. They are aware that we are in this system and they're using all that they can to ensure that we don't even understand how powerful we are together. We don't understand that we are actually able to be the change that we want to see. So, it's very important for us to also create opportunity, or rather have programs for that youth that is unemployed and looking for jobs, maybe become exposed, because a lot of the time people actually are just not exposed to things that they would like. Thank you.
Number two next to you.
Amandla, awethu, long live the undying spirit of Tsitsi Mashinini, long live. Thank you very much. My name is Tsepo Shogole, and I'm very happy to be part of this youth structure consultation. I think in the opening, Comrade Floyd has made a very important assessment that the economic character of the country still remains white and male dominant. And that is purely because the private sector remains one of the resistant pillars of power when it comes to real diversity and inclusion. And if Mayibuye youth structure is to begin to establish a movement, I think this is an area of speciality that we must focus on. We are having a very arrogant private sector in the country that does not want to assist the development agenda of the country. And they have been met with a little bit of complacency by those who are leading structures of young people today. So I think when we are going to open up the Mayibuye youth structure, we must be able to bring the battle at the doorstep of the private sector, because government alone cannot be able to cater for the number of unemployed graduates in this country, while least a majority of gains of this country goes to private. On the other hand, I want to speak about the establishment of a youth structure. I want to pose a question for debate to the members who are here. If Mayibuye is to form a youth organization, what character should it assume? Should it assume a working class socialism student organization or the youth organization, or is there going to be a separation between a student structure or a youth command? But in my experience, having observed both the structures that are existing, the structures namely SASCO and the EFF, one of the underpinnings which do not make them progressive movements is because there is no fragmentation between structures, in a sense that there are parallel command structures. For example, if you go to the student command, the student command only relates with only students' institutions of violin, while neglecting the broader space of young people that exist in communities. So there is no correlation between the student mobilization and the general youth that exists. And when you go to the South African Students' Congress, they are referred to as Progressive Youth Alliance Structures, the PYA. You might find that there is no clear indication as to what is the ideals of the South African Students' Congress in relation to a youth organized program, because they are often contradicting each other when it comes to campus, because there is no clear understanding and ideological coherence on what is the command structure of young people and who leads us and who should mobilize us, how should they mobilize all young people behind it. So we're very interested in forming part of this Mayibuye consultation and providing necessary input and ideas, because the revolution is under siege. Young people are disillusioned, disempowered, disengaged. Let us make sure that we are going to come here with eager, we are going to desist from patronage and take this as an arm to revitalize the history of our people and to re-engage young people into politics, because there is a system, or there is a deliberate delegitimization of young people that is orchestrated through alcohol and social jamborees, which are unnecessary. We need to bring young people back to the ball, because so in closing, I would suggest that if a Mayibuye youth structure is to be there, it must maintain an autonomous capacity from the initial body party, so that young people in the Mayibuye structure can be able to lead themselves without interference of old people, because that will begin to introduce institutional factionalism that has killed all the movements that are there. So that is my short submission, Commanders.
Thank you very much. Number 3. Number 3.
Thanks very much. My name is Vincent Viper Magam, the only snake in the north, from University of Limpopo. I heard the national convener, when he did his introduction, I think he repeated the question, should we start a movement? National convener, I want to answer that question for the last time today, that yes, we should start a movement. for a lot of reasons. We are not going to be listening to people who are busy misrepresenting the youth of South Africa, because we are sitting here today with the youth which day in, day out commit crime. But if ever want to go and check, those are casual visitors of jail, because immediately they've been taken to Busasa Youth Development Center. That particular youth, through the education which they obtain in there, they cannot go out and be utilized in the community. Those ones who are sentenced, where our taxpayers' money is being used to fund the education, those particular individuals, they cannot come out and get a job. What is the use of the state of government, which we are having, which puts more resources on activities which are not going to bear any fruits to the communities of South Africa? So, leadership, Comrade Floyd Shivambu, the national convener, what we must be looking at is what should characterize our movement, not the question of should we start the movement. That one is done and dusted. We are going to start the movement, and we are going to rally behind Mayibuye. We are going to constitute the leadership of Mayibuye from the youth and also the student. But at large, it is the character on how we are going to characterize ourselves as leaders of the youth and leaders of the community. I want to put this one clear out and loud, that with the current government of the ANC, we then look at the thing called NYDA, which is a cadre deployment and a cadre service to the cadre who is known to the NYDA's leadership. That structure was supposed to be used to start and assist the youth in the communities should they have any business proposal which they need funds of. But however, because of the current corruption within the ANC, that tend to be a cadre deployment. That should be enough reason for us to go and start a movement which is going to service not only members of Mayibuye, but the public at large. We are sitting here, Comrade Floyd Shivambu, with the current students who are being sold to the highest bid there by Saus, by the young criminals of the other organization, and the and the ANC. We are sitting here with the youth which can't even access education. The country loves to celebrate the 92% pass rate of bachelors, but those kids have nowhere to go, Comrade Floyd Shivambu, because the country and the leadership of the ANC didn't just not cap the intake of universities at 3,000 per university, like University of Limpopo. They've also managed to close TVETs and colleges. Where I come from, there was a college of Tubumbeni, which ever since 2002, nobody knows what is happening at that particular college. So to leadership Floyd Shivambu, I'm saying, when we open Mayibuye, we must go and face those colleges and we must ask, why are these colleges being closed? Because there will be no country. Because there will be no country which is going to grow its economy without investment in education. Those colleges, they were supposed to be the places in which people go and obtain education, but now they're being used as a consultation center for SATU, the conferences of SATU. And that is one of the useless unions ever existed in the history of South Africa. Lastly, I also want to say, Comrade Leadership Shivambu, what we must then focus at is what is called decolonized, skilled focus education. I like the fact that you touched much on it when you said that in China, they are being taught how to produce. The biggest problem we're having as South Africans is because we are consumers, not producers. And I will say it out without any fear of any contradiction, that will never, ever grow the economy of the country if ever we keep on purchasing, not selling. How do we then purchase when now I'm sitting here as a master's, a candidate in University of Limpopo, but the only thing I've obtained are theorists. And I also want to question our PhD graduate across the country, that with that PhD which you have obtained, you have done a research, you have found whatever you have found through your research. Are your research or your findings changing the economy of South Africa now? If ever those findings are not changing the economy of South Africa, please come and be with us so that we can reshape the educational system of South Africa. Because where we are sitting today, we are being given a theory After 20 years, one is going to say that Vincent Viper Makam wrote, but those things are not going to help us change or grow the economy of South Africa. What I'll submit, last President, is that let us go and shape and move with the people of South Africa because the masses are waiting for us. The masses are waiting for us to go and deliver them from these corrupt individuals and these grandstanders in Parliament as I submit.
Viva, Comrade Viper, viva. Viva, Comrade Viper, viva. Viva, Comrade Viper, viva. Number 4.
Good day to everyone who's here due to their respective positions.
Please bring the mic closer to, yeah.
Oh, yeah, good day to everyone who's here due to their respective positions. I'm Kululeko Nxumalo, a former student of Wits University, and then now I'm at Tshwane University of Technology. What I want to ask is that what is the vision of the organization which will be formed? Many parties are being formed which promise us a lot of things, but no implementation upon them. So what is the plan of the organization in creating real job opportunities? Do you have plans to open factories, as we do not have such factories who manufacture simple things such as spoons, table, chairs? I'm even sure that if we can check this share, underneath we'll find a made in China sticker. How do you plan on decolonizing the economic structure? We have an economy owned by a few individuals, which is a characteristic of a monopoly. So, in closing, what is your plan on fixing such matters?
Number 5. Number 5 was here. Okay. Oh, number 5 and number 6, ne? Yeah. I'm gonna come to the ladies after this. I need the ladies to speak.
Long live the undying spirit of Hector Peterson. Long live. Forward to the economic collaboration of black people. Forward. No, well, thanks very much, comrades. My name is Mudaumramreli from Limpopo, Wembe region, Collins Shawa, and Ward 11. So, to add on what Comrade Viper was saying, you had said that you would like to submit that, yes, there is a need to form a political party. Comrade Convener was saying, yes, there is a need to form a political party because all the political parties that we thought they are representing black people are no longer relevant. The African National Congress, which has already betrayed the missions and aims of the National Democratic Revolution, the Economic Freedom Fighters, which is a cult and is being used for self-enrichment. And the lesser we talk about the MK party, the better, comrades. So we're saying there are challenges that young people are facing in the country, such as unemployment, which is about 40%. We're talking about the issue access to funding and access to opportunities. So we're saying that as young people, we're coming with solutions to say, let us come up with skills development and development of entrepreneurship and also
come into the same place where we are staying at, take the services that are supposed to be taken by us. So the question that we are bringing today is that if Mayibuye is to formulate a structure called the Mayibuye Youth League or Youth Movement, it needs to have a political standing when it comes to people who are from outside, who are undocumented, because it is very useless to bring all organizations to come and fight unemployment, to come and fight for spaces in university, to come and fight all those particular things when all those things are also taken by foreigners. Thank you.
Thank you, leadership. Number 7. Okay, I'm gonna come to this. Okay, number 7, let's start with you, and then I'm gonna go to the ladies.
Mayibuye, Africa. No, thank you very much, comrades, and the national officials of the Mayibuye consultation process. My name is Kiamogetswe Masike, the former president, SRC president at the Tshwane University of Technology. I think, Comrade President, our national convener, my proposal would be that there is a cry of young people in South Africa that primary schools and secondary schools are neglected. Learners in those particular schools cannot read and they cannot write. And I think when the youth structure is formed, part and parcel of the scope of its work is that they need to go and volunteer in those public schools and make sure that our learners are given proper literacy skills. Because there's this clumsy suggestion that these privileged schools are better, and they are not. And also my appeal would be that there's also a cry that universities should scrape what we call application fees, because those are non-refundable fees that black students and ordinary students that come from the poor of the poorest families have to pay. So mine was just a submission to say that there is a cry that we need to go back to our public schools and make sure that learners get proper literacy skills in those schools. Thank you very much.
Okay. You are number 8, and then after you, can I please have the hands of the ladies first? I'm going to start here in the first table. You have to say something, lady, number 1. Another lady there with the brown jacket, number 2, right? You have to say, even if you agree to tell us where you are from. So you are number 2, number 3, on this side, number 4, and then number 5 behind you. Thank you. All right, you can go ahead, comrade.
Thank you very much, comrades. My name is Thabo Ngwenya. I am from Midrand, which is in the region of Johannesburg and the province of Gauteng. The current issues that I want to raise, comrades, firstly, we'll start with the first question of should we form a movement. That one is clear. We have high crime, high unemployment. We need a movement because the current political parties are all sitting together in parliament and they are failing to deal with these issues. So that means there's a space there for a political party to come in and address those issues. So that one is clear. Then we get to what should define this political movement. So the following issues I'd like to put forward, comrades. Number 1, youth unemployment is a national disaster or emergency and should be designated as such to free extra funds that can be used to create more jobs and a more conducive economic environment for young people. You know, when there's a natural disaster, you see ANC politicians ready to milk the system. Water crisis, they are ready with their water trucks. Why is that the unemployment issue, it's not designated as a national emergency? Why? Why can there not be extra funds from Treasury to address this matter? We are tired as young people. We wake up every day. We see our friends are doing drugs. Our friends are unemployed. But Cyril Ramaphosa and the rest of his government are sitting there and they are saying, no, the current funds that are there are enough to address this issue. That is not the truth, and we reject that. The next one is the one of youth business funding. Youth business funding has been captured by the ANC and their cronies. We have to beg and pay extortion bribes to the so-called public officials just to benefit from the funds that have been constitutionally availed for all young people. The NYDA and all other youth funding platforms have not achieved what they were meant to achieve. We need to establish new bodies or redefine these bodies to exclude political manipulation and thuggery. The next one, comrades, is the issue of sports. You know, Comrade President, we don't want to take you back, but that other guy that you were leading with there previously in that red party, he complains all the time about the white Springboks. How many sporting facilities have been opened in the township by that party? Because when we come here, we say the Springboks are white, yet our youth do not even have facilities to practice rugby. Where will they play this rugby without the fields? You want to see them at the Springboks, but where in the township will they practice, where they live? They must leave the township and go into the white neighborhoods. Where will they get the transport money? So bring this sport to our people. They want to play it, they can play it, they are talented. The last one, comrades, is redefining of youth politics. So it's not a secret that, again, comrades, since the emergence of that other gentleman from the Red Party, youth politics has been defined by bodily insults and suppression of intellectual contributions. You are here, Comrade President, today because your intellectualism was giving them fear. They could not sleep. So they had to sideline you, and we've seen that intellectualism is sidelined in youth politics. We see every day. On Youth Day, I was very much ashamed. I was watching the political programs of these political parties. When I was watching the one of the EFF, on that day, Sihle Lonzi was addressing young people and was telling them that the 370 grant given by the government is smaller than Ramaphosa's nose. Colin Malachi, on the other hand, addressing ANC Youth League, he was talking about people's stomachs and all of that. Now, I want to know, how does that contribute to the basket of youth intellect? We reject these types of politics, and such must be explicitly stated in Mayibuye's documents, especially the youth structures. We must and we will critique, but we must lead with strategic ideas and not insults. Thank you, comrades.
Thank you very much, comrades. The owner of a car with a registration MJ66LV, you need to go and remove your car, please. There's an emergency around your car. MJ66LV. Is the owner here? Thank you very much. Now moving to our ladies of today. Number one. Can we please give the mic to number one? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Ndamulelo Mlauzi. I'm from Makado in Limpopo and the Vembe region. I will just start by the last speaker here. I picked up something from the last speaker when he spoke about the sports facilities, that we don't have sports facilities. We have got limited sports facilities here in this country. And yes, that is true. I remember there was this world sports that happened, I think it was last year, I'm not sure. It was taking place in Europe or America, somewhere there. And the result in South Africa, there was something else, because that also it showed us that in South Africa, we are lacking when it comes to the sports. We are lacking so much that in such a way that it's very disappointing, because I'm sure that we have got so many talented people here who are in talent in sport. But now our leaders, I might say, and also especially the minister, let me put it that way, the minister of the sports, whether from previous or until currently, it's very disappointing that you find out that they are buying the talents from outside our country to come and play soccer and all those other football clubs and everything. Whereas in our country, we have our own talents. Why can't they just come and pick out for some of the talents here? Why is it in that in some certain sports they have to go and buy some the talents from outside? But that is not my submission. I just picked out something from the leader there. My submission, it's based on the unemployment. These are the most challenges that we are facing here, and the most affected age group is from the age of 15 to 34. And I just, the research shows that it's about 4.8 million of unemployed youth here in South Africa from the first quarter of the 2025. And these 4.8 million are those that are depending on the SRD, the 350 grant. So the problem here, I will continue from the last submission that I made last week in Polokwane, that the problem that we have here, it's that it's not the skills that are laying around, but the problem is that we have got limited placement facilities, just like the sports facilities. What I'm proposing to the Mayibuye here is that we should look going forward, because already this is a political, it has already been established. We are not going to answer the question that are we really looking forward for this organization to be registered, but yes, it's there. So what I'm proposing is that we should look mostly on the skills development and also on the entrepreneurship development. How are we going to do this one? Looking at the local entrepreneurs, we can create programs for the local entrepreneurs and also to give them funding resources and all those things that they can help them to grow their businesses, because the whole point there is to create jobs. So supporting the local entrepreneurs and also picking up those that are interested in businesses. This I'm speaking in terms of the experience that I am having, especially in the program that I'm currently running for the youth in South Africa, dealing with these job creations on the business sectors. We should focus in all the 28 sectors and train these young people, train us, including myself in this, train us in this one. Also the programs of the market readiness. This will equip entrepreneurs with the skills, knowledge, and networking. This is needed to successfully trade in local and global markets. The name Mayibuye, it's not only in South Africa, it's not only going to be limited in South Africa, because Mayibuye in Africa, I believe that is going to concentrate in Pan-Africanism, and that also includes the whole continent of Africa. So if we can also build a relationship with other organizations that are outside our country, in around African continent, that will create us and give us the market readiness and teach our young people to trade among themselves, and make sure that we network among themselves. I know this one, someone might be asking a question, is it doable? Yes, it's doable. I attended the Trade Africa Trade Mission, where we were dealing with these such issues of the youth. And there were a whole lot of other countries that they were also sharing the same thing that we are facing, not only here in South Africa. So that one also, trading, the readiness of the trading market, it's one of the programs that we can also engage in. And another, when we go to the industries or the placement facilities that I'm talking about manufacturing, I'm talking about the factories like automotive, factories that will be dealing with furniture, factories that will be dealing with construction material, factories and that will be dealing with food processing, factories that will be dealing with renewable energy. Those are some of the examples but the list continues and goes on. But Mayibuye, we are proposing that we should focus also on building these facilities. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take long, leaders. Some of the entities will say that here in South Africa, we have got a whole lot of entities, just like NYDA. But now when we go there as a political party and to go and voice out for the youth, they will say that they don't support politics. They only want the civil organization, but they forget that in all those political parties that we are in, we are the people, we are the citizens of South Africa. If they do not support us, who are they going to support? This thing of saying that they have to differentiate me wearing the T-shirt of ANC, wearing the T-shirt of EFF, and all the other political parties. It's wrong, because all of us here, I'm not speaking only for the people, for the young people of Mayibuye, but I'm speaking on all the political parties, the youth that are there in those organizations, that these entities, the government entities, they should support us, not only looking at who this one, she comes from which political parties. Our youth are unemployed, not only because they are not educated or they don't want to work, but entities are closing the opportunities for us young people. If they were not closing them, we would be open for partnership. Then we go to them with a proposal on what can be done to create job opportunities in this country. Let us look at also the civil societies that we should be aligned, that are aligned with our visions, our goals of Mayibuye. We should also go and approach them and partner with them to make sure that this one becomes a success, this project becomes a success of job creation. We can't be also, when we look at this June 16, we can't be celebrating the freedom if our young people are still in this distress. The June 16, the politicians, the June 16, they should just pick up their own date where they are going to focus on their political rallies, but allow us on the June 16 to have the programs that are going to deal with the issues of the young people. We can have a lot of programs. The programs that will only allow us to sell our businesses and not work for the businesses wise. We can have programs that are market readiness to both local and global organization, global and local trading. Because Mayibuye Africa not only limited to South Africa, but it is a continental, as it focuses also on the Pan-Africanism. This means Mayibuye should not only start to network with other African organizations for partnership. Programs that addresses the issues of the youth, but at the same time introduces solution to the public. Programs that are all here to build us economically. The June 16 is meant for the youth. It's not meant for the political leaders to be telling us that as we don't care about who and so, pointing us fingers. But the June 16 should be given to the youth, and so that we can be able to take care of the issues that are related to the youth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Number 2. May you please give the mic to number 2, the lady that is wearing the brown coat.
Thank you, leadership, and greetings to the House at large. My name is Mpora Mudike. I'm from Limpopo, Mopani region. Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Mpora Mudike. I am from Mopani in Limpopo, and honestly, I did have some submissions to make, but most of my comrades, they covered majority of what I had to say. But I would just like to add on to saying that what I realized is that I was the Treasurer General at the University of Limpopo, and me being there, I realized that many students are trapped in a system that claims to support us. But in reality, we are faced with NSFAS delays, sudden exclusions from funding, the rising cost of living on campus, but the allowances are not increasing, a lack of accommodation and food security, the constant pressure to succeed while representing our families and communities. We are often left to fight these struggles alone with little institutional support. Mayibuye Africa must be serious about, if Mayibuye Africa wants to be serious about the youth, we need to be more than just sloganists. We need a radical reimagination of student-centered policies where we include full student debt cancellation, a complete overhaul or reform of the NSFAS, a guaranteed transition from education into employment, internships and entrepreneurship opportunities. And students must be part of shaping these opportunities and not just receivers of such opportunities. Thank you.
Viva, Comrade Mpo, viva!
Mayibuye.
Viva, Comrade Mpo, viva! Number 3 is the lady that is in this row. Oh, it's you. All right. There's another lady here. She's going to be number 6. Just for you to greet. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lebo Khang. I'm from Pretoria, Komabopani. I'm sure we've all heard the frustrations of the youth and the anger, but I'm not gonna take long. I would like to indulge in the values and the principles of Mayibuye, based on the questions that have been asked. If yes, we need a new political party, and yes, we do need a political party. However, we don't need a political party that will be an add-on to the current failed existing political parties. And I think I really appreciate the question that was posed upon us of whether the political party should be formed, and yes, only with the values and principles it should be founded on. I have few points. Number one, I watched one of your consultative processes in Free State. My friend here, Tyson, engaged with you. You touched on a very vital point which amplified the stance with regards to General Mkwanazi. You did clarify that we need a transparent government. What I think the organization should do is to fight the age restriction in the current employment equity, mainly in the government sector. Let's try to increase at least to the age of 50 years old. University sectors, number two, university sectors, we would like the organization to incorporate the practicals in each and every course in all the universities. This is a suggestion from the high demand of experience from most graduates. Number three, can you also put on in your manifesto a system that a national skills exchange bank, which will add as an investment to final year students in universities. This can be in a form of internships, apprenticeships, and learnerships. Integrity and transparency, no secrecy in governance. Open books, open discussions, open decisions, and open leaderships. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Lebu. Number 4. And then behind you, number 5. And then number 6.
Hello everybody, my name is Princess Ncinga, and I'm from the Eastern Cape Province, from the Sarah Batman Square, Region 6 Ward. And I humbly come before you guys to request to build competence and ambitious initiative in our youth. I understand that there is a need for physical facilities, there is a need for physical entities like educational investments and job opportunities, but I really feel like that competence really grows I'm so sorry, I'm nervous, but I really feel like competence and character development can carry the growth of South Africa, if you guys understand what I mean. So I'm here to ask if you guys can implement programs to train the youth, males and females, my fellow brothers and sisters, to build resilience and break generational stagnant mindsets that restrict us from even using these facilities and opportunities that we get. Because I see there's lots of instances where we get the job opportunities, where we get the facilities, but then after a year or two, it's reckoned. It's broken down and there's nothing happening anymore. People have lost that passion. So I'm really here to say that passion really can start and spark progress, sustains it. And I really just want South Africa to note my insights for confidence and character in our youth. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Hi everyone, my name is Preeti Silwane from Limpopo, Makhulu-Tamaga region. Okay, firstly, I would like to support the fact of Comrade Shivambu that we should establish a party because current parties are not serving or helping the youth with anything. Okay, starting an organization can help with like numerous facts. Okay, empowering young people, providing a platform for young for youth to voice their opinions, develop leadership skills and opinions. Okay, addressing a specific needs. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay,
You can speak from the heart. You know the problems that you have as the youth, or can speak your language.
Okay, addressing specific needs, focusing on issues unique to young people, such as education, employment, mental health, and social challenges. Number 3, fostering communities, creating a supportive network for young people to connect, share experiences, and collaborate. Number 3, promoting positive change, encouraging youth to become active citizens, driving social innovations and contributing to their communities. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pretty. Then number 6, let's do the ladies first and then I'm gonna come back. Number 6, she's wearing a cap here. There we go.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Noluthando Mvelase and I'm a student at Tshwane University of Technology. I would like to first start by saying I'm so happy to see Mr. Shivambu in person. I never thought I would. Like, I never thought I would, like, seriously. Like, I'm like, is it really him? So me, like, I don't have much to say in it, but I would like to add on the...
Can you say your name?
I did.
Oh,
I said
Noluthando
Noluthando Mvelase.
Right, yes. Thank you.
Yes. I would like to add on the... Someone mentioned something about application fees. Yeah, and I would like to ask our president that make some difference, I don't know how, or maybe decrease the fees or something, because other students can't go to universities because they can't apply, they can't pay the application fees. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're gonna go for another round. All right, number 1 there at the back, and then number 2 with the, then number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, okay, number 7. Okay, you can go number 1.
No, thank you very much, Chair of the session.
You can go ahead.
Yes, no, I will try to be short because already the colleagues have submitted the points that we were here to submit. But to emphasize on Comrade President.
Name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Silas Skosana. I'm from Tshwane. To emphasize on the point that has already been emphasized by other colleagues, Comrade President was saying that indeed we need a movement to be formed so that we can tackle the challenges of this country that clearly other political movements have neglected. You've also spoke, President, on how the current government does not have the plan for the youth, which is very important because now we are faced with the situation that the people who are in government who we have given a mandate to lead us were being told that they are the ones who are coordinating the delivery of drugs to young people, which is a direct attack on us as young people. So I want to also agitate us as young people to say that we are being attacked, and we are being attacked by those who have mandated to lead us. Because if you are supplying drugs to young people as a minister, it means you are directly attacking the youth of this country. So it's something that we cannot take lightly. It's something that we need to at some point aggressively face. The other thing, comrades, is that usually when we talk about the youth, we often refer to students who are already in institutions of higher learning. And in the process of engaging, we then neglect people who are in the townships who didn't get the opportunity to be in institutions of higher learning. So, Comrade President and the Deputy Convener, if a youth movement is going to be constituted, let that movement also prioritize people who couldn't get access to higher institutions. Because last year I was in the process of campaigning for a political party, and we went to townships talking to young people, and we got to realize that many young people, unfortunately, as Comrade President has highlighted, that are outside of the education system, even those who have qualified. So we're pleading with Mayibuye to say, if we're going to constitute a movement, let that movement also prioritize the skills development programs and social issues that are directly affecting our brothers and sisters in townships. One comrade was making reference to the Springboks, emphasizing on the importance of having facilities in institutions of higher learning. And I want to agree with that. Comrades, if you can look at the facilities that we have in TVET institutions, many of us would agree that those are not, if you compare them with high schools that are being attended by white kids, they are way better than those TVET colleges. So infrastructure also is an issue in institutions of higher learning. And I know that there are short-term plans and there are long-term plans. But as we engage in these processes, in a long-term run, I wish to see Mayibuye also challenging the issues of infrastructure, especially in spaces of higher learning. Comrades might also be aware that now there's a bill in Parliament which speaks to withholding of qualifications of young people due to owing universities. If we are going to constitute a movement of young people, comrades, that is one particular issue that we must also tackle aggressively, to say that institution can no longer hold on to qualifications of young people who have qualified simply because they owe the institutions. Those qualifications or copy of qualifications are needed by young people to go look for jobs. And we are pleading with the movement to say that if we are going to constitute a movement, let us aggressively attack that issue. In closure, comrades, we are well aware that there's a political disengagement amongst the youth in this country. Last year, an IEC ran a program of registering new voters into the system. And in a country of 60 plus million people, only about 1.2 million new voters registered, which is an embarrassment on all of us, more especially the IEC. So it clearly shows that there's a serious political disengagement amongst the youth in this country. So if we are going to form a movement or constitute a youth movement, though that is one of the issues that we must also prioritize to say, how do we make sure that the voter turnout among the youth it's increased? I will also make one reference. You know, last month there was a by-election in 156 in Tshwane. And I want to make reference to this ward because that ward is located where the University of Pretoria is. So majority of people who are locating in that ward are young people.
As we conclude, we
Okay.
need to be very brief, comrades, so that we can give others
Okay.
a chance. Thank you.
So the the last point that I had on my notes was the issue of civic education. We know that, comrades, that the IEC has been defunded by the government. So if we're going to constitute a movement, comrade, let us also prioritize the issue of civic education so that young people understand the importance of engaging in politics and voting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Amandla, Amandla, awethu, Mayibuye, Africa, Mayibuye. Thank you very much, comrades. I'm going to be concise and precise to avoid any inquisitorial. But I'm going to start by introducing myself. I go by the name of Emmanuel, and I descend as a female name called Chauke. I'm from Ward 103 in Johannesburg, Sandton, Bryanston region. Sorry. I'm from Bryanston region, but originally I'm from the north, just like my friend Vincent Viper. That is Limpopo. That's where I was born and bred in Malamlelo. Greeting to the national convener, the future president of this country, Comrade Floyd Nyiko Shivambu, and to the leadership of Mayibuye consultation process, be greeted. Comrades, the question that is before everyone is very clear, and that is whether there should be a new political party or not. And I think, Comrade Floyd, that question is pregnant with answers. And I'm not saying this for the benefit of, I'm not saying this for the benefit of just saying it. We should form a political party, and this party should then champion and better represent the views of the society at large. And also I want to commend the Mayibuye medics, even though I don't see any one of them. Comrade Talenta, oh, you are here, thank you very much. And Dr. Chauke Innocent, I'm not seeing him, but I want to commend the works that they are doing. What they are doing takes humanity out of things because they are doing it on a pro bono basis. So I'm a mathematical educator from the University of Witwatersrand myself, and I'm also a mathematician from Svagomakatwell Science University. And I want these programs to also extend to Mayibuye educators. And I'm going to be very much available to go to different schools and offer this service to those that need it. Thank you very much, Comrade Al-Khaladia.
Number 3, 1 minute each now. We need to respond. Thank you.
Amanda, awethu, Mayibuye, Africa. Greetings all. My name is Kariso Dennis Debakwani from Mpumalanga, Inhlazeni, Bushbuckridge region, Bushbuckridge sub-region, Ward 15. Greetings all. Comrade President, yes, you should start a youth movement aim at upskilling the youth, bringing the gap between their current skills and what employers want. We should actually make it attractive for qualified professionals to become politically active and bring their skills to the public sector. But I have question, Comrade President, or what is it that you are bringing that will kill corruption, create jobs, and restore political will? Amanda.
Number 4. Mayibuye. Yeah, Africa. Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Mkhanyisi Mbangata, the former deputy convener of Mkondo the student movement in Gauteng province. First to begin with, I would like to thank you, Comrade Viper, for raising that. This thing of forming a new political party now is a rhetoric. We are tired. The new political party should be formulated. I only have a few points to outline here. I will base more on the educational sector, which is I'm currently in. If we do have the youth and the student movement, Comrade Convener, what should distinguish the Mayibuye from the youth or student formations politically and ideologically? You know, we have this nonsensical thing that is happening in the SRC candidates, that if you want to be deployed in the SRC, you should follow the certain rules of previous SRC presidents or previous SRC treasurer general that have been there to say, if you are there, you should do this and do this and do this. If you deployed me, meaning you have trusted me with all my potentials that I have. So give me a potential to go and represent the student. Secondly to that, I want to speak about the free and decolonized education. You know, we have this thing so-called free education, which is I don't believe in. Because if you say to get NSFAS, your parents should earn less than 350,000. What if I have a parent? What if at home it's 3 of us, and then our parents have to pay for 3 of us in the higher institution? Probably, to make an example, in the University of Johannesburg, I have to pay 70,000 per year. If we are 4 of us at home, then they have to pay this 70,000. It meaning we're not going to eat anything. We should go and sleep in the streets and do anything. Decolonized education, there's no this thing of decolonized education, it's something that we have been crying about. This is not happening. For example, if you are going to write an exam, you will see a question paper is written in English and Afrikaans. Some of the instances, it's not that we fail just because we don't understand, we don't grasp the context, but it's because there's been using those colonial languages, which is English and Afrikaans. Why can't, as a Xhosa native, we can't be written in Xhosa so that I can understand? Probably in that manner we could pass. Amandla.
Number 5. Number 5 is here in front.
Thank you very much, comrade. My name is Tyson. I come from the Free State in a metro called Mangaung, ward number 3. I think that 3...
Comrade Tyson, we need all your names. Tyson who?
Oh, my name is
Ward
Tyson.
as well.
Yes. My name is Tyson Khadi.
Khadi.
Yeah, with KHLI. And I am from Free State, the province. And the metro is Mangaung. And ward is ward number 3. When I went through the website of Mayibuye Africa, I think there are 3 questions that were posed to everyone. It was that, first, do we see a need for us to start a political movement? And if yes, on what values and principles must it be founded on? And 2, how should this political party be funded? And 3 was, how should we distinct this political party from other political parties? So one thing about Comrade Floyd is that when he speaks, he He covers all of those topics, and when you're about to get into it, like literally, he has already covered all of those. He has already answered them. I think even from the beginning, when he started with this, he had literally outlined some sort of a shape of what this movement should be like. My answer to the question is yes, we do need a political movement, and this political movement, I suggest that it be a home to other political struggles that want to see the emancipation of black people. By this, I mean we need to try to kill as many as possible political parties, because the black voters are being divided through all these political parties that are being established. So I would like to get to hear much more on that one as to how is this going to be possible from Mayibuye, Africa. And also, I said yes, that we want for it to be established, and we want to, on the values that we want it to be founded on and principles, is that we want it to be a Pan-African Ubuntu political party. It must be centered around African identity, the values, unity and dignity, reclaiming African knowledge, history and pride. Like I already mentioned, that one thing about Comrade Floyd is that he covers stuff that you literally were about to talk about, like the history that we are learning in schools, from primary. When you are doing social sciences, you are learning about Adolf Hitler, people who have never even set their foot right here in South Africa. Yet we still have people like Robert Sobukwe. You don't read about such people. So we need to bring back that, the identity of our African people, and instead of having all these Europeans that we study much more about. The other one is it must be principled on the economic emancipation, which is a true liberation means of ownership of land as well, economy of the economy and the means of production by the people, not the elites that we see are the ones that are owning this. Okay, I'm gonna cut it there.
Thank you very much. As you mentioned, we have a website. It is www.africa with a K, mayibuye.org. And when you go to our website, there's a WhatsApp number that you can also send your inputs. Yeah, thank you very much. Number 6.
Thank you very much. My name is Ishmael Makate from the Valley University of Technology in Citibank region. Well, Comrade Floyd, in relation to the question of whether we should establish a new political party, I think I want to comment on that because in my view, this thing has already been established. This thing of public consultation is just for formality. Whether we disagree with it or not, it's going to be established. That is the first point. And so in all the platforms that you got, Comrade Floyd, you spoke very bad about the EFF in terms of it being a cult and all of those things. But I've never heard you speaking very bad about one of its policies. Meaning you still agree with the ideologies of the economic freedom fighters, even if it is a cult movement. So what is your stand if we happen to succeed in terms of establishing this particular political party? Are you still open to go and negotiate with the economic freedom fighters, putting into consideration that there are 7 non-negotiable cardinal pillars that are waiting for you if you want to go and form a coalition government with them? In relation to the resources, I've got a problem with the poison that we are being fed at the higher institutions. My problem is that this government takes all of us into higher education and teach us about agriculture. But there is no any form of agricultural activity without the land. You want to go into farming, you want to go into fishing, into anything, into mining, you need the land. So the problem is that if we want to attain the land, we must still go through a white man who's going to make it very expensive, and our people will still not be able to afford. It's going to be affordable only to the foreigners. So what's your take on that, Comrade Floyd? And one of the problems is that I think we must disabuse this concept of saying education is the only key to success. It is not the only key. Yes, it is the key to success, but not only the key to success, because a lot of people assume that if they fail matric, then it's chai. So we need to come up with a new strategy of how do we make other people succeed without depending only on education. We can bring some sports facilities in all of these schools so that even if you know you are failing academically, but you are doing very well in swimming, so that you can pursue your something from that particular sports activity.
As you conclude?
Yes, in conclusion, Comrade Floyd, I want to know about the issue of the quality is held by the universities because students cannot afford to pay. The problem is that when these people apply, they are making an indication to the government that I'm poor and I cannot afford. Therefore, can you please assist me with NSFAS? But when they owe the institution, then they say, no, before you get your qualification, you must come and pay. How? Because I've indicated to you that I cannot afford. That's why I've applied for NSFAS. So why are our qualifications still being withheld by this institution? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take the two hands there and then we close. No, two there and then we close. Okay, two, okay.
No, thanks very much.
Okay, after him, the other one, and then you go, and then who else again? 1, 2, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Thank you very much. My name is Ndo Prince. I'm from Limpopo in Vembe region. You know, comrade chairperson of the session. My point are two. You know, all the submission that has been submitted by the young people here in this house, there is no solution of those submission without the land. But if you can check very well, and we have been assessing the process of fighting for the land, it's through National Assembly. And comrade, what you are doing there, you are fighting for the amendment of Section 25. But it's taking ages for you to achieve that. So my question to you, comrade convener, was, is it possible? I mean, there is possibility in those restrictions that are there when it comes to the land, that at least you can try to fight the thing of the land downwards from the municipality level. Actually, in actual sense, I'm saying what stopped the municipality to have the right to mine mineral for the benefit of our people? Because individuals are getting access to our minerals. They are mining. And if we can check between the individuals and those institution municipalities, people who have money, the money is in the municipalities. So what are the restrictions that cannot be dealt with in that level so that our people get benefits? Because there where there is minerals and where there is mines, comrade convener, it's where there is highest level of poverty. And those people have minerals. You can go to Skukune, you can go to Tawazimbi. There is a highest level of informal settlement. Our people are living like animals there. But I think as Mayibuye, as we have agreed, and also the statistics agreeing that there is a need of a political movement on the ground, you all at least try to fight even using the municipality, if you happen to have municipality, to get mining rights and build our people proper settlement and also all the needs of our people on the ground. Second point is that, you know, you as the consultation was proceeding, there was a time where you call the entrepreneurs, comrade convener. I was laughing because the majority of the entrepreneurs are tender entrepreneurs. There is no entrepreneurs that are producing, especially food. We are depending on a harbor to eat. Even here, if you can say now we are hungry, we are going to eat food from the harbor. There is no skill in sourcing to our young people to produce their own food, to produce their own clothes. So we are saying there is a need because those things that I've mentioned with the existing political party are not being addressed. They are sloganizing about our challenges when they get to the assembly. They went to the assembly and speak big English and get paid, and they laugh at the poor out there. We want
the movement that will always take steps to deal with the challenges of our people. We don't want the movement of slogans. We don't want the movement of big English. But on top of the movement, Comrade Convener, there is a big issue in the country that is threatening our food security, our security in terms of health. Let us not address the African agenda through Mayibuye platform. We rather create the African institution that will address the African agenda to bring with everyone from different African countries so that Mayibuye happen to be solution to whatsoever that is a challenge in our country. That was my submission.
Number 9, next to you.
Na kansa urangeri vitra mina mina hlawulekano ka ndima numa blank vater kamseng. There is something that we have and we've always seen. Sports brings people together.
Can you please repeat your name?
My name is Hlawulekani Ndima from Blankwater village, Kamseng. So what I'm saying is that there's sports, it always brings people together. But what we normally do is that within the political space, student leaders would know that you have portfolios. One would be sport, one would be culture and religion, another would be health, another would be that and that. So my submission is to say that when we are forming structures, let our structures directly impact certain things. Youth want to be, we want our youth to move away from alcohol, from drugs. Let the structures that we are forming be formed as if we are already in governance. We don't need big money to actually do these things. We only just need a person and a movement that is willing. We can also do, even in the villages with our youth, we can get land from Abu Hossein as we are working with kings and chiefs, where even those who are interested in farming, we give them the support to actually do that. Myself, as a professional, I'm a lawyer. But what I'm saying is that even as we move with the metrics, with the law, with the law one which we are going to form, what we need to be doing is that we need to be acting as if we are already in governance. There is no point in having someone with a portfolio which basically doesn't give any contribution to society. People don't want us to be telling them over and over again that we are going to do, let us do. We don't need a lot of money. Leadership, you know, you have the tournament that side of Mahonis. There is people who are always willing to say, if we can take away our kids from all these other things and organize them, then we are willing to fund 1,000, we are willing to fund with kids, we are willing to fund with all of these things. That is where now we get the youth. Now we start to get the youth and we start teaching, giving them political education. But we should not in any way wait for us to become into government to now say that we are now only going to do. That's the first one. Second one, I'm very much concerned as a student leader at my time at the University of Limpopo as secretary. I saw a lot of students or prosperous students who wanted to come in, but their results did not make sense. You have qualifications which will require students to have mathematics and all these things. But what is being taught at the base level, at our high school, children are being channeled to go take maths lead. Where are you going to go with maths lead? This is some of the challenges that we need to tackle so that we are producing kids when coming out of the high school. We are producing kids which can be able to be accepted into degrees, into professional degrees. Let me finish.
As you conclude.
As I conclude. The last thing that I want to just touch upon, let us have the spirit of Ubuntu. There's no need of us preaching things which will not be relevant to a grandmother who just basically needs someone to help her to move from a house to go get pay. We must be orientated around that we are community builders. We are contributing positively within our communities that we can take from our villages into the universities, into the work sectors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 10. Yeah, number 10. Shame kunini bambili.
No, thank you, Chairperson. Can you kindly allow me to speak seated down? I have some stomach cramps.
May you please stand up and then say your name?
Yes, my name is...
Oh, sorry, you can sit then. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm saying, Comrade Chairperson, kindly allow me to speak seated because I have some stomach cramps. My name is Donald Donza Padi. I get to Pitori. Comrade President, we want to tell you as young people of this country that you are the best of the best in society. And then you are an advanced person in this society. And we are not saying this because the other time when you were in Limpopo, there's a pocket knife that was sent. There was someone who was sent in the consultation to disturb them. Sent by those that are jealous of your political clarity and the leadership that you possess, that you always guide and give to this country. So I'm just stating facts about who you are. You are the best of the best in society, Comrade President, and carry that with you and know that the people of South Africa and as the youth, you have our support and we believe in your leadership as a whole. So, Comrade President, you are the best of the best. But to add on that is that I want to add an input in terms of how we must formulate the youth and student movement of the Mayibuye process. Because the reality of the matter is that the young people are waiting for it. They want to engage, they want to contribute, they want to form part, extensively put proper inputs and their talents to the Mayibuye process. So the young people are saying that the movement must start and it's late. And then one of the key things that I'm going to want to propose as part of the organization, the posture of the organization of the youth, because I think it wouldn't be well now that we say that there must be a student movement that operates outside the youth movement. We will try to put an input to say that in the youth movement that must happen because it's late, Comrade President, we want to work. We will advise that at the level of organizers of that structure, we must have 2 organizers. And the other one must be specifically responsible to organize the youth in higher education sector, universities and TVETs and the higher education sector as a whole. The other one must be responsible for communities in general. But we must start by, I was speaking with one director of one university to say that, look, we want to even contest this SRC elections. And he said that if you are having papers, constitution and relevant documents, you can even be allowed this year to continue that process. So what I'm trying to say is that even if when we arrive next year, in terms of SRC, registrations of institutions of higher learnings, Mayibuye must be leading at the forefront of making sure that young people in this country get spaces, are registered in universities of higher learning and TVETs, extensively so. So what we are saying is that, Comrade President, we want the organization to start. Thank you, Chairperson.
What are your names again?
Donald Donza Padi. Donald Karabo Padi.
Donald?
Karabo Padi.
Karabo?
Padi.
Padi.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Donza when they refer me.
All right. 2 more.
Greetings.
All right, wait. Where are we now? Okay, yes, it was you. Yes.
Greetings.
Then after him, I'm going to take 2 more.
Greetings inside the plenary. I go by the name of Mongezi Shabalala, a grade 11 student in Guatemala. Mine will be very short and simple. Yeah, as we are students studying, our sisters from universities have studied, maybe, let's make an example, have studied 7-year course, are not employed. We also, as the growing up students, going to go to university, going to do the same thing, study maybe a 10-year course, then go back to our homes with no employment, unemployment. As a youth, I say, as a youth of South Africa, we're facing challenges of unemployment and substance abuse. As we know, 46.1% of youth aged between 15 and 35 are unemployed. And then of that desperation, we end up using substance abuse. So I'm asking me as a young student of grade 11, is the same thing that's happening to our brothers and sisters, same as that's going to happen to us. So I have a question for Mayibuye Consultation. Leaders, can I be recognized? Leaders. As a grade 11 student, I have a question, very simple question for Mayibuye Consultation. My question is that I hear that you want to start a movement, and I see that thing is very solid. I want to speak for the students of secondary schools and high schools. Are you going to fight for us that when we get to matric and pass, are you going to fight for us that after we go to university, we get employed? Because we can't be busy going for theories, then after 7 years, we go back home where we were poor from home. We've tried to go and study, but we go back, nothing in hand, just a simple paper that is even have, they must tell you about 3 years, what, 5 years, what. What were we studying for, comrades? So, Mayibuye. Yeah.
Okay, you can carry on.
Yeah. As young as I am, I'm standing right in front of you saying that I do believe in Mayibuye that could make change in our lifetime as a youth. Maybe we can get employed and maybe people can start looking for jobs and leave those substance abuse. Mayibuye. Africa.
Mayibuye.
I submit through you, Chief of the session.
Thank you. Okay, now we are going to number. Okay, I'm going to be nice. I said I'm going to take 2. I'm going to add another one. So it's 3. Let me see who's the lucky one. Besides you. Okay, wait. Can I see the hands? That one. Okay. After you, it's you. So you are number 1, number 2. The red, number 3. There was a number 4 here. Yeah, number 4. Thank you. And then after number 4, Temans Mandes, Kim GP. You have to come say something. Thank you. Number 5.
Greetings, everyone. Am I audible enough? My name is Tabiso Delgado Kekana from...
Bring it closer.
Can you hear me now? Yes. My name is Tabiso Delgado Kekana from Gamkombani in the Waterberg district. Probably one of the remaining rebel speakers that are young. You know, and I'm the chairperson of the SA Schools Development Program, the secretary for the youth and mining affected communities. I came late, but I'm just going to touch on this question of, do we need another political party? Sure, especially with this approach that we're taking. I think maybe this will be a party that will have a constitution that's shaped by the public, us, you know. So yes, we do need another political party which will just grow from public participation. But on the work that I've been doing as the chairperson of the SASDP, I want to touch on the issue of sports in schools. The reason we had started there was because of how we thought sport was a capitalist system. If you've played football, you know that if you didn't have money, you were kept in going far. So we're trying to bring sports into schools, whereby each and every child that's in school, whether you are 21, 22, As long as you are a learner, you are going to play. You understand? We are trying to get rid of the ageism because we understand that there's certain kids who are very, very slow, but then with sports, they are very good. And the other thing we were doing was we are pushing voter education programs because of the voter turnout in young people. It's very, very disappointing. And mainly due to the education that they are receiving. No character education of some sort. And even socially, we are just not organized. This is why we have drunk youth, you know. Right now, as civil society organizations and political parties, we are competing with taverns for the attention of young people. Imagine, you understand? So, and I mean, right now we do not have anything that's going to entice the young people to say, wait a minute, let's build the country. And when it comes to the sports thing, there's a fellow who's the minister for the sports thing who says, for us to be able to bring school sports back, we have to build facilities. Come on, no, man. If ever we can have this thing on a system level whereby it's approved by national, from national goes to provincials, regions, then circuits, whereby now we are going to cluster schools, then we start making them compete. In Malamulele High School or wherever, you can simply, there's fields that are there. There's poles. Netball and football, you don't need facilities for you to start that thing. The constructions and everything will find us on the way. So yes, that was just a brief submission on the sports thing. But I want to talk on the mining thing because it's a subject that's close to the heart. If you've been to Mokopan, you'd know that most of us have been hurt by what's been happening there. This is why we started this organization to say, even now I'm availing myself to each and every person who comes from a mining community to say we are here. We are going to be helping in representing issues affecting young people in mining areas. You understand? If you go to a place like, what's this, Begersfort, there's a fellow called Morgan Moshala who's considered as Amazam. But what must he do? Because he needs to eat. Black people are being shut out in terms of participating in the processes of mining, procurement, and all these things, businesses. It's only the people we don't know who are coming into our spaces and then contaminating our lands, but we get nothing in return. So what I'm saying now is that I'm availing myself and the services of the organization to say issues affecting young people in mining areas, whether it be employment, procurement, environmental. We are there, we are going to push so that we can also benefit from the wealth of where we come from. Can't be from Gamkomban or from Begersfort or Tabazimbi, but still struggling. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What is your name again? Please, please.
Tabiso Delgado Gegan. You can write it with a K
Tabiso?
though. Systematically it's a K, but it's Gegan.
Tabiso?
Delgado
Tegado?
Gegan.
Tekana.
K-E
Kekana.
Gekana.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, you rhyme. Thank you very much. And then number 2.
Greetings to one. My name is Watch Mlambo.
Who?
Watch.
Watch?
Yes, Mlambo.
Mlando.
Mlambo.
Yes. Mlambo. Okay.
I'm from the Valley University of Technology. I'm a former SRC member. I led three times. Original, I'm from Pumalanga in Komas. Comrade Floyd, when he started speaking, he posed a question that do we need to form a youth movement or a student movement? And everyone who have been standing and speaking, they've been raising the point that we do need it, and we all know that we need it. I did engineering, I'm still continuing with engineering. I believe in all situations, before we can find solution, we always do fault finding, whereby we have many whys, and those whys, we must find solution towards the end of it. The way this movement, it started in a good process, whereby it's a consultation process. Do we need this movement, and why do we need it? As they've been circulating across the country in all different provinces with different leaders from different regions. It will assist in finding all the problems, and then we gather all the problems, and then those leaders that will be there will come with the solution to assist in these issues. also in the formation of youth, it will also assist a lot, because if you can check the issue of unemployment we're having in the country, we must first find the base of it. The base of it starts from the basic education going to higher education. Because if you can check the way the formation is structured from the basic education, it closes channels for many learners going to higher institution, because you might pass with a bachelor, but you don't meet the minimum requirement of going to higher institution, because the pressure is a lot. We must, just to make an example, you find someone doing accounting, physics and agriculture combined, and then you fail one of the modules, and you are good in accounting, you don't get a chance to be exposed in higher education. So we must find a proper way to restructure the basic education going to higher institution. In conclusion, I've heard many people mentioning everything, all the issues that we're facing as youth, but there's a serious concern in the country on a daily issue, on social media platforms. There's an issue of gender-based violence that is affecting the country. Lately, when you go to social media, there will be a story about the issue of gender-based violence. Mostly, people who are affected, it's females. But also, the gender-based violence, it affects the issue of males also. So, the consultation of Mayibuye must also focus on the issue of the gender-based violence that is currently affecting our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then, the comrade at the back. The youth of South Africa is rising.
Amandla, awethu, Mayibuye, Africa. Long live the undying spirit of Steve Biko, long live. Long live the undying spirit of Steve Biko, long live. Thank you very much, comrade. My name is Ayabong Mlifa, a student from Tshwane University of Technology.
Ayabong Bani?
Mlifa.
Mulifa.
MLIFA. A student from Tshwane University of Technology. Comrade President for Chibambu, we want to tell you that we the youth of South Africa, we need a new political party that will include the student movement. That the student movement that will be driven by the interest of the South Africa, and that will be driven by the struggle of the ordinary black and poor marginalized student of South Africa. Comrade President, we want to tell you that's why we believe this new political party will assist us, so we can continue to hold our government and politicians accountable. As the collective voice of voiceless, we will continue to challenge the current state and demand accountability to fight for the rights of the black student. And Comrade President, we want to take this responsibility as the youth of South Africa, that we will work tirelessly to build and shape the strength in this organization, which is Mayibuye. We will create a movement that is accountable to its members and transparent in decision making. Thank you.
Number 4, thank you so much. Number 4. No, they're at the back. Wait, it was number 4. And then Skim Sam. Skim GP.
Thank you very much. Greetings to the volunteers of the MCP. Greetings to the leadership of the MCP. My name is Linian Mutau from Tshwane, here in Gauteng. Let me start by saying, Comrade Convener, in the beginning of this process, you are very clear that you are going to consult the people of South Africa and not conduct SWOT analysis of other political parties. And I say this deliberately because of almost everyone that takes the platform here, it's either to critique other organizational parties as to what is going on. Now, time and time again, we have cults, so out plead that we actually deviate from that and focus on the actual program of the day. But yeah, that's not what I'm raising on. I only have 3 issues to just table to the House. One, South Africa's unemployment rate is a pressing concern. I don't want to also rhetoric around it, but I would have loved that we have a discussion around it as the MCP, that should you assume government, or should you, as in when you continue with this process, what plans do you have in place in having to tackle the issue of unemployment, be it youth or unemployment in general? Comrade Convener, me and you and two-thirds gathered here are really unemployed. What plans do we have in place? My second point, what plans do we have in place for the schooling curriculum of South Africa, such that when our people leave school, we then able to produce work and skill ready individuals? The last point is that what is it that Mayibuye Africa will do differently from previous? And when I say previous, I say it intentionally because of we no longer have a voice and revolutionaries, but captured individuals across board. Kindly assist with above questions so that we can engage and we know what exactly to say when we consult our communities. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah long told us that action without thought is very empty. So I sit down. Thank you very much.
What's your name? Your name?
Lenient Mutau.
Lenient
Mutau. M-O-T-A-U.
Mutau. Yes. Before Comrade Temba Nzimani Scheme GP, there's a Tenuskara, and then after Kaba.
Amanda.
Wait.
Sibonge lo me phambi kwenu uNkosinathi Zwane obuya eDeep Level eButi 1575 kaGogezola sibonge.
Khaliphinda igama?
uNkosinathi Zwane.
Nkosinathi
Zwane.
Zwane.
Yes.
Okay. Nkosinathi simamele.
Today I have some few points to make. You see, the first one is about unemployment youth. Being unemployed is not easy. It affects not only our income, but our confidence, our daily routine. Many of us here understands the pain of not being unemployed and not how to provide for your family. We live in a time whereby there is no shortage of talent or potential, and that opportunities are not shared. Young generation finish school and universities, but they still at home doing nothing. Skilled workers are being pushed away because of age or lack of communication or experience. All of us want to work but can't find a door that opens to a better future. So the affection of not being unemployed pushes our brothers and sisters to smoke drugs, to do more teenage pregnancy. I want to talk about the problem of teenage pregnancy. The government told us back then in 2020, before 2018, before the COVID, they told us that there will be more job opportunities, more schools open for our brothers and sisters. But look where we are. We're standing right in front of you, wearing yesterday's clothes. You see, and how are we going to secure our upcoming generation, children, if you can't work, if there's no work? So today is about if Mayibuye Consultation progress is willing to take part and being united. I want to know what's the plan or strategy of unemployment youth and teenage pregnancy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Temba Nzimande, Scheme GP. Viva Mayibuye Youth Movement, viva! Viva Mayibuye Youth Movement, viva! Mandla! Mandla!
Thank you, leadership. Viva Mayibuye, Mayibuye, Mayibuye Africa, viva! Ekudala sihleli phansi ngathi singayibamba sikuchukumise siphithi youth fandaka ngithi. Awe mama, awe mama, awe mama. Awe mama, awe mama. Awe mama, awe tolo ngaka. Awe mama. Awe mama, awe mama, awe mama. Awe mama, awe mama. Awe mama, awe tolo ngaka. Awe mama. Awalende siyenza yo. Esiyenza yo. Awalende siyenza yo. Avalo alente. Ote falo 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 tololo. Avalo tololo. Awalente siyenza yo. Avalo alente. Ote tio tio. Tio mama tio. Tio tio. Tio he tio. Kuta kuta. Kuta batao tswara. Viva Mayibuye, 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 viva! Pagama Yigo Floyd Shibabo Pagama! Pata President Yigo Shibabo Pagama! Singasala phansi. Thank you, comrades. Thank you very much. Mine is very simple. Mina nje bengizobulisa. Kunama chance ayifake ejubaneni semandleni President. Thank you for allowing me into your own space. I run my own situation. Some of us were very influential in the country. So it's just that about no, let us mind our own business. Because when you enter into a political space, you might be swallowed. And when you enter into a political space, find out you are entering into a relationship. The next thing, I hope namhlanje you have found yourself a political home. You are permanent. You are not going to be a permanent visitors here. Because kunabo political higihaga. A lot of young people will enter a politics. You are hoping. And but because it's a podcaster, some of us, but I'm a political prostitute. So I hope you are here and you are here to stay. You won't be onlookers. You won't be bystanders and you won't be spectators. Pagama, Mayibuye, Pagama. Dr. John Maxwell said something very powerful, Mr. President, and the whole entire collective. What everything rise and falls on leaders. Namhlanje we've got leaders who are like cowboys on crack. They are dizzy, they are drunk in their own political arena, in their own political situation. So I really hope that they'll find the expression even in SA. When we join the home, you must know for a fact that I run my own people. ababizwa ngokuthi Black Power movement. So I said to them, I am visiting the leadership today. And I think our contribution will make a very serious difference. And Utembo will start trending again in the country. Because Mauti against the wall, crime is a sketch in our country. 3 points, so I'm going to amplify that message. One, they spoke about the issue, the education. So leadership, crisis is serious in the country. Out of 100% of young people that goes to school, Mr. President, by a scale, only 40% make it to a university. And then immediately after that, when they complete, only 14% bakreatiro. Are we saying as a country we are educating our people to be unemployed now? The biggest question is, how about feta hakuna span in the country? Number two, batache issue of gender-based violence, GBVF. I'm very passionate about that subject. So money into an if we don't teach them young, siluzile. Tina, some of us were unemployable today. So the only cushion is ngaitola ukudithola abantu abazokhona ukusunderstanda njengabo Mr. Floyd Chivam. But otherwise, a lot of people are saying anything that says, I'm an ex-prisoner. Let me educate you young people. Ematanyane kune out ezikhona zila ezihleli potential nina serious yokuthi mawungalahlisa idwetanyane. As I close, amajita baya bafaka ama tattoos Fandaka about 26, 27, Big 5, Ref 4, Air Force. Their eyes are burning with anger. They want someone that they will devour. If unga pegangu ngeko slam, and if unga ilandeli kahle le formation, uzoba ne flop, kusasa besuba statistic. Now bakbale so setanyan. I know for a fact ukuthi abanye abantu leti creative it's man-made lento ineffective fault ne human error. Ziya create lezi zinto. Nibonile kwenzakalana ngithi namhlanje. Uchayisani leadership. When the two elephants are fighting, the part that will suffer is the grass. You are the people that are going to suffer. Man figure tanyana man figure da. Abana skatok pegela da. Ufigure throw tattoos telele tema. Ungas guti shuktine. Can the tattoo more figure but you must row. And you said you are a lion. So as young people, isn't this serious? When we are talking about prevention and saying crime does not pay, the formation and another movement must stand for that. In South Africa, we've got 243 prisons. In South Africa, we've got over 194,000 inmates behind bars. Each one with 460 rand per day. And Aramatanyana se Gauteng award 23. Aliki Tanyana ngalvanga Gauteng. Lamatana South Africa, the reason why I decided, Mr. President, as I sit down, Uguting Tatalento is a calling, Uguting Yola Machita. It's a sad ending story, chance. About fetu wapelele Tanyana Abapaya because Aguna plan. So if abantu monga banigeza an idling mind is a dangerous mind. Akusena around the kasi, magana bioscope kasi, nix. The only thing they resort to crime. Fanda kukunya occasion transit hide kunya ngayonkinto. Aguna solution. Abantu ba busy lena bakhuluma their academical point of view. Call us our scheme. I've been there, done that. I know what the prevention is better than cure. So when I go around the country, in 2019, we travel across the length and breadth of the country. Today, it's more than 1,500 acres. One scale is not 2,000 acres. If ni serious, ngale si kulumai. Ngalo ukuthi manhleli kuphela kungabi motivation as a mambu jambu. Sikhulume because we are playing with words. We must be intentional about change. We must be intentional about the rehabilitation. When the guys are reintegrated, good but we have as a society, you must know they are unemployable. The white film figure, kunama company, kunama factory, our value almost donkey. Only maybe 30% how much that's pana cars. So but no, the only scapegoat politics. Yes, the sad ending story and the sad reality is politics is the new spinner in the country. Abantu about no, the only way, the new heist is joining politics. Because you know, Maungena la panito zagozi clean and so petty position of I. Abantu pegukating, abantu peguken, and they're saying these people they've made it big, but we're criminals. We don't have to be criminals. We don't have to commit crime. Because when I go find an amuben in Tantlubuye and host the biggest platform CBC against the wall. So as she said, let this is an opportunity, umbuto abantu, umbuto and make sure Uguti now you keep the fire burning. Keep well and stay blessed.
Mandla. Sizawubiza ke ngoku the builder of movements. The true leader of our generation, our national convener, Comrade Floyd Shivambu.
Amandla. Mayibuye. Yeah, Africa. No, thank you very much, Skim, and thank you very much, my brother, for the word of encouragement to young people and to highlight the correct fact that it might look glamorous from far, but crime does not pay, and we must not be tempted, all of us, to associate with criminal activity. And it's good that after having lived a youthful life which was involved with wrongdoing, Scheme is playing a very important role in conscientizing society around the dangers of crime. We really appreciate the work that is doing to society. Now, comrades, the leadership is going to respond to some of the issues that are coming out of the interventions that happened today here. First, we want to appreciate the composition of all of us who came here today. I'm actually so pleased that we got to listen to diverse perspective. I'm particularly pleased as well that we got to interact with the youth who are still in high school. Your name is Mongezi? Yes, very, very clear perspectives that got to hear. It's always inspiring, and we should always have these interactions from time to time so that we are able to shape a clearer and what we need to do. There's an issue which just, I think, must be taken up by everyone. We had taken that issue in our previous responsibilities. The issue of the cancellation of student debt, that it doesn't make sense that universities can hold the qualifications of students because they owe them some 5,000 rand, 2,000 rand. And there are so many degrees and diplomas which are held by universities of poor students, and they do not want to release them. So when we served a long time ago as members of the National Financial Aid Scheme, we had put a proposal that NSFAS must pay for all the students who are owing and then make an arrangement that they must be given their degrees, all of them. That is why even the legislation which was introduced now in Parliament, the student debt cancellation bill, we initiated that directive that let us pursue that. In the beginning of last year, we had, in the beginning of the academic year, last year in 2024, we held back-to-back with then Minister of Higher Education, Blade Nzimande, and making a solemn plea that let's cancel all the student debt and give students their degrees and diplomas. And you know what is strange about these deployees of the ANC, even when in principle they agree with something, they've got no means and capacity to realize such in terms of what. Now, comrades, generally in politics, there's a very good interventions that we received even yesterday in the Eastern Cape, I hear coming, is that as political leadership, we carry an obligation and a revolutionary obligation to conscientize society or to make society aware of what is happening in the political life of the country, in the economic life of the country, so that we can present solid and sound alternatives. Because sometimes people think that everything else is normal. Sometimes because of lack of knowledge, because of hidden information. There are people who, by the way, still believe that the ANC is a liberation movement. There are people who still believe that. when all evidence is laid bare that this is not a liberation movement, it's an instrument in the hands of our colonizers. It's used for entrenchment of white privilege and white wealth. The biggest beneficiaries, the people who benefited the most from 1994 up until now, is the white capitalist establishment. White people got richer and richer in the first 30 years of so-called democracy. And they got richer using the ANC because it is their project. They were able to subjugate it and control it for their own benefits. That is why the white capitalists, the white rich people, could fund ANC conferences and choose candidates as to who must be elected as ANC president. It's because it is their project. They had a huge sway over President Mandela. Yesterday it was Mandela. And the people of South Africa are very vigilant. You know, a lot of people even forgot it's President Mandela Day because at some stage, the establishment had control of President Mandela and his ideas of freedom. At some stage, they had control of the entire ANC or the dominant faction of the ANC. This, and we can't not say that. You know, even the most accomplished theoreticians in the world, for Karl Marx to come with the theory of scientific socialism, he had to write a book about capitalism, volumes and volumes on capital, to critique the nature of capital and the exploitative nature of capital. We are not going to waste more time critiquing the existing political parties, but we will tell the people of South Africa that some of these political parties that pose or act like they are liberators, they are not. They are actually scams. They are imposters' projects who pose as if they are revolutionaries, but there is nothing revolutionary about them. Who expropriate the language of revolution, but there's nothing revolutionary about them. When the time is right, we will write down to illustrate basic things. Do you know, I gave an example one day where a leader of a revolutionary party was refusing the removal of bucket toilets in Ekurhuleni because that person is the one who's supplying bucket toilets and is a leader of a liberation, of a revolutionary movement. When we push, they say, no, Floyd wants to destroy my business. And you know the bucket toilets, how humiliating they are. Those toilets, they get full with excrement, with human waste. And there is no honeysucker that comes to collect those things. But someone says, no, that is his business. We have got revolutionary leaders when there is resolution on insourcing of workers, insourcing of security guards, but they line up security companies so that the municipality pays them 20,000 rand per security guard, and they give that security guard 3,000 rand, and they don't see anything wrong with that. How are people going to know? Because when they go and appear in platforms, they say we are revolutionary, we are here for insourcing, building of state capacity. But in practice, and we can illustrate on many occasions. We can illustrate on many occasions and instances where there is nothing revolutionary. And you know what is even much more painful is that because they thought sometimes that we are same with them. Whenever there are no cameras, they will say their real intentions of a political program and say, no, these things that you talk about, Floyd, are just too much. Leave those things. We must make money here. That if we can make 1 billion from each municipality, then we're sorted. And these are the things that you have to deal with. How are people going to know without you talking about that? Because we must caution the whole of society before they fall into a ditch that stay away from what appears to be revolutionary projects. There is nothing revolutionary about that. And as if that is not enough, some even go to the extent of inducting young political leaders on how to steal government money. Induction. People who are deployed in government are called to be given an induction on how to steal government money. And how do we not say that? How do we not caution society about that? And then, it's like that. And we have to expose the weaknesses of the system so that, because people will say, no, but you have never given us a proper critique, or you have never told us about these things. We will talk about the details of what Mayibuye is going to do differently, but we have to be brutally honest about the true character of the existence. We know the ANC is beyond repair. We know that the other formations as well are not true liberation forces. The other one, there was an issue we're dealing with of Morocco now. Morocco is a colonizer country. It is in colonial occupation of Western Sahara. All the liberation movement in the African continent have been saying, let us liberate Western Sahara. All the liberation movement, all the progressive forces in the world, they've been calling for the liberation of Western Sahara. But because Morocco went to give money, or is promising to give money to the leadership of Umkhonto weSizwe through Makasalam Zobe and Duduzile Zuma. President Zuma is in Morocco now to say, Morocco, there's nothing wrong with Morocco occupying Western Sahara against revolutionary forces in the world. And what do you call that? Sacrificing principle on the altar of money. How do we not expose that? Because people will not know, will think, no, this is a revolution, we're following revolution. And if we don't expose that, it becomes, but that is not going to be our politics. Our politics will be politics of change. Our politics will be politics of free education. Our politics will be politics of massive industrial expansion to create jobs for our people. Our politics will be to respect and honor royal, legitimate leadership that prioritizes the interest of our people. Our politics will be to honor religious leaders who honor themselves and respect their communities. Our politics will be about pushing real developmental agenda, which will end poverty. Our politics will be about ending inequalities. Our politics will be about redress of the economic imbalances of the past. Our politics will be fighting crime. Our politics will be real rejuvenation of those that have been in criminal situations but can still be mainstreamed back into society now. Those will be the politics that we push for. But we will do so with honesty. And we will do so not being a cult, that everything else that I say is final. We will do so with openness. That is what we are talking about in terms of all of these issues. But I really appreciate the otherwise very substantial inputs that we've got to receive today. I'm more interested myself in giving a structural character and form of the youth voices. I've got names here, but I don't think I must read the names before I canvass with the leadership, because everything else that we do here, we must first canvass amongst ourselves as leadership. So from amongst those of you who are here, and also taking into consideration the names of those who are submitted by the provinces that could not attend today, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape, Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, the coastal provinces, we will constitute a task team on youth and students, Mayibuye Youth and Students Task Team, which must autonomously go and discuss, even if it's a team of 20, 21 people, but all provinces must be represented. I'm interested as well with direct representation of students from secondary schools as well. Not that it's just university students and the young people who are working. It must be everyone, so that there is a balanced composition of that. And then you must get time to sit a smaller team of not more than 21 people to discuss autonomously what do we do with how we organize youth and students in Mayibuye. Do we form one organization that is Mayibuye Youth and Students, or do we form two organizations, one Mayibuye Youth Movement, the other one Mayibuye Students Movement? Or what becomes the approach? What becomes the immediate things? The reason why we want you to engage in that process is because when we go to the National Convention, which will launch Africa Mayibuye as a movement, we want the youth to be already organized by then. It must not be, we are launching now, we're going to organize the youth later. We want the youth to be organized. We want students to be organized. We want the women structure to be organized as well. We want the structure for religious sector to be organized. We want the structure, if needs be, of royal leadership to be organized, so that we know who do we deal with in different sectors of society. And then we're able to move from there. And comrades, we have to be impatient on how we organize. What causes and drives revolutions is impatience. There's nothing wrong with impatience in a revolution. Because if you're too patient in a revolution, you'll be 60 years old and you only realize later that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, and then you'll be going door to door in television stations and criticizing people when you had the time to take a decision, you didn't take that decision. So we will constitute a movement. So we will, after consultation as well with the province, some of the names that we have, we might find that the province had other ideas about those names for the roles that they can play at the regional and sub-regional level. But we will constitute a task team, and then we get you time to meet by yourselves, and then you write a comprehensive report on how to organize ourselves as Mayibuye youth and students and what becomes the way forward. And out of that meeting of yourselves only and alone, you must also propose a program of action on youth and students consultations. When do you go to institutions of higher learning? When do you go to high schools? What becomes the character and nature of your consultations? When ourselves were busy with traditional leaders and churches and provinces, the youth and students must be consulting as well, doing the work, so that we have a clearer perspective on what is to be done. Thank you very much, comrades. Let's allow the other leaders to give perspective as well. We really appreciate.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you very much, National Convener. We are going to start with the Office of the Coordinator, National Coordinator, Comrade Lendi Spires. Then after that, we are going to follow with the TGO's office, the Treasurer General's office, the two fundraisers, Comrade Tsepo Mahanuke and Comrade Menzi Makubane. And then after the TGO, we're gonna ask the SGO's office. Thank you.
Mayibuye. Good evening, youth. Good evening. My name is Lendi Spires, and I'm the Deputy Organizer National. I would really like to talk to you shortly. I'm not going to take much time. And I think that what I really would like to drive in what I would like to say to you is basically how are we going to take part of economic activities currently with the systems that has been in place to exclude us for so long. Firstly, I would like to say all of us know there are many conferences globally, as well as on the continent, as well as in our country. But there is one type of a conference that was only held 3 times since 1968. And this conference that has been held 3 times since 1968 is the single most important conference of all conferences globally, because that is what is holding the economic powers globally. All of us have acknowledged there is something wrong, and it all points to systems. And I would like to say to you, when the world really have changed, because I'm going to come to exactly where our economic opportunities lie as a youth. We have in 2012 the MDGs. I'm sure most of you have heard about the Millennium Development Goals. And after that, the Millennium Development Goals was not complete, and it has to change. Between 2012 and 2015, the world was busy consulting as to what is the way forward for the future of the world. Things had to change for the world, which means the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, was under conversation, and the world took part, every country took part in that. But unfortunately, our communities were not kept abreast of what was happening. In 2015, the world changed forever. Systems has changed forever. The policy influences for the effect of Sustainable Development Goals can be felt today. The reason why all of us are saying something is wrong with our system, and it started in 2015, those adoptions. Immediately after 2015, there was a post-2015 development agenda. Their development agenda was to say what policies is going to be placed where, how, and by who. And we as Africans were not part of it. We went to conferences where resolutions were made for us. Then the agenda 2030, which is the single most important agenda, because Agenda 2030 is the new urban agenda. The new urban agenda is the conference that took place 3 times since 1968, because everything in economic development, like housing development, every construction project globally and in the continent and locally is Agenda 2030. Now I would like to say to you, how was Africa tricked out of Agenda 2030? How was our president tricked to accept Agenda 2063? I'm not sure if many of you know about Agenda 2063. Agenda 2063 is the African Union, was formed in 1953 and to 1963, and to 2063 makes it 100 years. When we as Africans were tricked out of Agenda 2030 through our president's influences, that means that we are diverted away from conferences. Now I'm coming to where we're benefiting. Agenda 2030, which is a new urban agenda, is immediately accessible to all communities. Our government is the only government that's got legislation through the integrated development plan in every local government for 30% participation on every single project. And we as Mayibuye, we are proposing that we must have youth community development forums to take part of those processes immediately. If we take part on those processes, no government can stop us in this continent. But now I would like to say to the DA, you are reversing this. You have been even removing it from all of your websites. The IDP process has been kept hidden, and now it has been demonized by being called it is construction mafia. No, it is not construction mafia. It is community participation. And for us as Mayibuye, our immediate solution should be that we must have youth community development forums as Mayibuye to take part in every regional structures and local government structures when it comes to the participation. Thank you.
Hayi strong Mayibuye ine solutions. Sizawucela ke TGO Comrade Makubane and Comrade Mahanuke.
Amandla, I can see that most of us, we are tired now. That is the only thing I know about the youth. When you keep them for the longest time, you'll see them starting to go up and down. It means there is a lot of power, there is a lot of energy within their bodies. So it's for the first time in my life where I'm in engagement where all spheres of youth are represented, from the high school level up to the postgraduates. So I am very happy for that. Can you clap your hands for yourselves? I was so impressed when I was listening from the high school boys, and they were busy talking, telling us, and I was even shocked when they were talking about the teenage pregnancy. Then I was touched a lot. But let me start from the high level to those ones who are already graduated. There was a question, I'll just touch where I see maybe there was some gaps that were left. And my comrades here are already covered some of the things. There was a question that was raised by one of the attendees here who asked about the experience after they've graduated. The youth has got a serious problem. They go to school, graduate, and they get their degrees nicely, some of them cum laude. But when they go out there and seek for the jobs, then the problem is experience. Mayibuye, one of the things that we are making sure, or that we will be trying, number one, we won't promise a lot, but we said we will do most of the things. It's that we'll be start to engage with the companies, especially when we are promoting the black economic solidarity of the black peoples, that they won't ask the experience. In some years back, I was involved in some of such programs where I'm in a field of civil engineering, where the students from Emangosu to Durban, because I'm from KZN, after their grades, they will come and they will talk to those black civil engineers or quantity surveyors that are already established. And those guys, they will train those students or those graduates until maybe in a period of 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So Mayibuye will embark strongly in bringing back for such programs, since already we are promising that the social responsibility or social facilitations, we will be making sure that we are touching the human lives. So we will look strongly to that part because it's already raised and we are aware of such things. Coming to other one, we spoke about, there is someone who asked about the, what you call, they said, it's a local training. What I pick up from that guy who asked that question is just that I don't see him anymore here. Maybe he's left. What I pick up from him is that we need to look on the curriculum and change and not stick more on the theory. We know that our education system, it's lying more on the theory. And whereas when you look from other countries or from other international countries, those educational curriculums that we are having here in South Africa are not talking to what we want to see. So, comrades, Mayibuye, when we are going forward, we are trying to introduce different programs, we will be looking to such things. How can we do or to train our youth so that they will be resourceful in our community and help our community with a lot of different skills and work. Then to the high school level, guys, I think the last one when I'm about to sit down, it's that we need to respect our parents. So that is the most thing that we need to preach to our colleagues, to our peers, that we need to respect our parents. Because most of the time, we will end up saying there is a violence that is happening, siyahlukunyezwa emakhaya, kwenzeka all of those things, but only to find that it's us not respecting our parents and our elders. So in Mayibuye, it's busy and it's preaching the gospel of a respect from at a young age up to the elders. So comrade, let us, as Ubabunzimande was here and telling us all of those things, let us take those things and go with them back home so that we will start to practice such things. Then at the end of the day, we will know that Mayibuye it's a serious different movement from other political movement that we have in the society. Thanks a lot, comrades.
Thank you very much, TG. I'm gonna call the second TG. Yamono TG unxibe iskipa sika Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara joined the army at the age of 17 and became the president of Burkina Faso in his 30s. Kuthena be South Africa ingakwazi kwenzeka lonto. Funeka niyilwele ke ma comrade. Sibe no minister abancinci. No Patrice Lumumba naye waba prime minister at the age of 28. So iMayibuye funeka ibe ne ministers at young age. Comrade President, thank you.
Amandla. Away too. I hear about Thomas Sankara and Patrice Lumumba, but I will tell you about Comrade Floyd, that he became the ANC Youth League spokesperson at the age of 25. So now he started very early. Mayibuye. Africa. Comrades, it has been great and we have had. And as always, I would stand and say, we listened and we have had. The task before us is enormous, and we are not merely raising, as the TGO office, we're not only raising funds, but we are raising the consciousness of our people. You suppress the youth, you silence the future. And the future has come. Mayibuye. Mayibuye. I urge every one of you not to retreat. Asibuyele emuva. Siya phambili. Let us become the architecture of our future that we want to see. Let us formalize our structures and pool our resources and invest in the mission with the same courage we invested our time and ideas. Let it never be said that we lacked commitment. Let it never be said that we folded when the path became steep. Our generation may not have started the fight, but by God we will finish it. I therefore encourage every one of you that when you go back with a mind that says the future has come and you are the future. Amanda!
Thank you, TG, our fundraiser. Panzwa youth nayo fundraiser wetu. Sinabantu bonke apha kuMayibuye. Sizawucela i-office kanobhala. Ngaphandle kalotata iMayibuye ayikho usisitixo sale moto. Comrade SG.
Amandla, Amandla, Tam Tomusha eta, Tam Tomusha eta, Mayibuye, Africa, Hola Mtomusha, hola. Thank you very much, Program Director, National Convener, the leadership at large. Okwami kuncane. I just want to say, comrade, thank you very much. Ukuthi nizile nazi avela. So you must make sure ukuthi whatever was presented here, it's become you must make sure ukuthi niyahamba ube umphako wenu. This thing will never be yenzeke ngaphandle kwe-leadership e-province yala eGauteng. Ngimfonele uComrade Umusa, I remember beno-Comrade uSosko bafonele ebusuku ngithi comrade, do something. You are the host of this event. You can't disappoint us. Angamboni kodwa ngimboni Comrade Umusa phakama la ukhona bakubona national convener umphathi wenu chairperson we-province. Comrade Umusa nonela. Ngibone no deputy wakho uthule angisamazi no Sosko, but we'll give you the chance, comrade, maybe uze phambili masesivalo uzosenzela ama closing remarks. Comrade, lot of things has been said. There's few things that I want to say. Comrade national convener, he said sizokwenza ama structures, which is quite correct. 21 youth that will be constitute youth, including ama students. Then lo 21 uzoba gender balance, which means if kunabantu besilisa about 10, kufanele kube nabesifazana about 11. So asizukuthatha abantu besilisa kuphela, asizukuthatha abantu besifazane kuphela. Uzoba gender balance and geographical spread, which means in all 11 provinces, in 9 provinces, we'll need a youth from there. Number 2, comrade, asiyekeni ukuba ama political influencers and political celebrities. Let us be abantu abasha abahloniphayo. Let us be abantu abasha abane ideology yokuliberate nina niziliberate nina. Number 3, comrade, niyeke lokuthi nivalela abanye abantu abasha ukuthi wena masongenile abanye abasezungena wena leader manje amanye ama leader asekho. So stop gatekeeping, allow other comrades to come balidane. Okugcina sekuzophakama uDSG phumana utshwaleni nakuma drugs. You are
You are empowering. Ama-drugs lawa esikhala ngawo emalokishini nasey'koleni, you are empowering those people. If you can stop buying drugs, those people, they won't survive. Kunama-product discontinued, this product has been discontinued, which means abayithengi abantu, nani stop buying drugs because i-market yakhona, it won't succeed. So let's go back emakhaya, siyo liberate abantu abasha, ikhona sizoba isizwe. Just imagine ngabo Oliver Tambo and Mandela, they were busy using drugs. Lelizwe ngaba sikho la sikhona namhlanje. So we cannot liberate izwe ngabantu abaphuza utshwala. We are going to liberate this country with a sober youth nabantu abazimisela ukuliberate izwe. Amandla.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva young person, viva. Mayibuye. Each one, teach one, each one, teach one, teach one, each one, each one. Thank you very much. I wanted to feel that we still have young people at the high school level where they understand the importance of the politics. And is not a secret that a country, a movement, a person that doesn't recognize or value young person or children, they don't deserve its future. Comrade, I'm very happy to see young people here. Ngijabule kakhulu. Ngiyakhombisa ukuthi i-future yeMayibuye is safe. And I just want to appreciate the brilliant minds, including our national convener, is very brilliant. When you look at the sign here of Mayibuye, you can see there's a spear with a pen. And you should understand that very well. That it's a transition from where we're coming from towards a future that will, of course, not leave education. We need to be educated as young people. National convener, my apology, I did not greet my leader here. Greetings to you, national convener, Comrade Floyd Shibambo, and the entire leadership here. It is very important that we support high schools politics because it's the base, it's where it starts. Ila kuqala khona, mawuqala ubana 15, 16, uqala ukuhlakanipha, uqala ukuhlukanisa, uqala ukubona ukuthi no, manje akusahambi kahle ezibani labasha. And we're very energetic at that point. We really need to use that energy towards shaping our future and also contributing to our economy, our education of the country. We know that COSAS was formed by the late O.R. Tambo in exile. He saw a need that even if we're going to shape all structures, but young people must be involved. That's why there is a slogan that says, we are a future, nothing can stop us. We are a future, nothing can stop us. And I really appreciate Comrade Floyd with the background of being a young person and in being involved in politics. Because at some point you'll find these old people, they don't understand young people. So it takes you to be there to understand ukuthi umuntu omusha. Not that we are disrespectful. Sometimes at school you'll find teachers want to, I'm a former member of courses from high school. You'll find teachers want to confide us, want to tell us all the time. But there's something that we have learned through discussions and formulations of courses that when we are radical, it does not mean we must disrespect. It means we must put our points, we must champion issues of young people at heart with respect. We did that, some of us, and I'm sure it's the very same ideology that Comrade Floyd is sharing here, because most of the time, even among ourselves, we'll say, please make sure that you don't insult, you don't be radical by making the next person feel bad. Just put your point clearly so that they can get to understand exactly your point. I just want to indicate that I've seen most of high school, because I had an opportunity to visit schools. When you ask the principals there, the management there, do you have courses here? They said, no, we don't have. So I want to plead today as I stand up to say, let's go back and revive those courses movement. It's very important. It starts there. When you get to your university and this high learning institution, you already have that vibe of understanding the rights of a black child to what's education. The Freedom Charter speaks of all doors shall be open for learning. It's our policy that we're not going to neglect. We're going to support it. And how so? We need strong structures. We need young people in all level to take it very serious. Because they say if you want to hide information or you want to continue cripple black community, make sure that their education, you see our educational system is really not assisting us. It was something that was coming down here. And we really, some of us here and you need to make sure ukuthi siyolungisa le system. Ukuthi umuntu omusha, umuntu omnyama bangangafundzeli kohlala ekhaya. Makafundzele kowenda msebenzi aqashele abanye bantu. This is the system that we want to speak to. And these are the systems that we're going to correct. I want to also acknowledge that I've heard when you were deliberating as young people here, that you know exactly what we must do. We know what we want as young people. Siyakwati lesikfunako, ayikuthi asikwati. And sikwati so, sine problem yokuthi noma sik outline sikhuluma ngako, akufiki kuwela etidlebeni letidef. You like for instance in parliament you've got abantu abadala. And I'm happy that even all our consultation process, it was indicated that we want young people there. We want abantu abasha there who are going to infuse izinto ezifuna ngabantu abasha. How can umuntu lona 70 ayongitshela ngefuture yami when I'm not part of it? Uyobe sekafile naye nokufa. They won't be there, all these old people. They'll be dead because our lifespan has shortened almost to 60, 50, 70. They will be dead, and they're now planning our future, which is not fair. I think it's a point that it was indicated in some of our deliberations, and our chairperson here, our national convener, is taking them very serious, and he understands. You see, what makes me happy is that he understands when a young person is speaking, he knows he's coming from that background, that young people should also be involved. Young people should also be taken very serious. And I'm sure he has responded in most of the issues that were raised here. But for us now is to go back and revive ourselves at the high school level. Causes must be alive. Let these young people speak their mind. Let them tell us how this future should be shaped. As well as in all the institutions, higher learning institutions, we want you to be very vibrant. Let's go and recruit more of young people who are going to speak the future. We are the future. Nothing can stop us. Thank you very much.
Mandla. Amandla. Awe two. Matla. Kiarona. Thank you very much, Program Director. One of the first things we should do is to have discipline. You cannot have a leader standing here speaking and you are murmuring that side. That's ill discipline. So it's the first thing that you should address. Yeah, comrades, let's thank you for making the time to come to this program. The program was a consultation program to hear from you what do you think needs to be done. So we're seeking a mandate. And I want to thank you for giving us a mandate that says that we should proceed and form a political movement. Because that is the first thing that we should tick. Thank you for that. And clap your hands for this very important mandate. And it's very important that as part of these consultations, the reason why we're doing consultation is that at least the majority of the political parties in South Africa since 1994 is a group of people who sit in a corner, decide to form a party, and even decide how the party should look like. And we said that is exactly why we are not changing the lives, because the only people who knows what needs to be done is the people themselves. And that's why we decided to come to you so that you give us a direction. So we're very grateful that you spend your time giving us an analysis of what you think needs to be done. Of course, others ask the question to the national convener and say, what do you say about this? No, we want you to tell us what should we do with the foreigner issue. We want you to tell us how do we treat the issue of General Mukwanas, who stood against all odds to expose crime, and now he's an enemy. We want you to tell us what should we do with that? Because it is time that the youth tell us what needs to be done with the issue affecting them. And that's why there is a special consultation for the youth today. Because the youth is not just any other group. It's a very special group. In fact, Frantz Fanon put it very nicely when he said, each generation must define its mission, fulfill it or betray it. We want you to define your mission. So we're very grateful for the contribution. We're still going to have a conference, like the national convener was saying, where we'll literally talk about the issues of the youth. And I hope that you'll be there with us with this. Mine is not to say you should do this, you should do that. You should tell us what needs to be done. The only thing, of course, national convener, that I'll add is that as we talk about free education, you must also add quality and decolonized education. Because the apartheid government had an education called Bantu education. It was also an education, but it had a purpose. The purpose was to colonize us. So don't forget that as you debate, because that is very important that we dismantle that. And of course, the issue about also considering in the movement the high school students as part of the movement, the COSAS arrangement, is very important because we get poisoned at high school. And that is where we should manage the poison. And as I close, sometimes I wonder whether you are angry enough as the youth. Sometimes I think you are not angry enough. There are over 5 million young people who wakes up in the morning, they don't know what to do. They resort into drugs. They resort into, all these wrong things. And what we do is that we scream at the wrong things. But you don't understand that a society that does that means the youth have now lost hope. They are now powerless. In this country, only 17% of the youth are voting. 17%. And maybe national convener, the question now is becoming clear that the question must no longer be about whether we should form a party or not. The question should be, how do we take about 16 million people who have given up from voting and make them to vote? So when people are saying, must we form a party or not, you say, no, don't form a party. But there are almost 20 million people who are no longer participating in politics. And ours must be about you deciding that, Chair. So there are a lot of issues that are affecting the youth. A lot of issues that are affecting the youth. 55% of the youth live under poverty line. And the list goes on and on and on. And I'm saying this, Chair,
that your responsibility is deeper, is far deeper. And you are the only ones who are going to take this Mayibuye to the next level. Some of us have tried as the youth who have failed. And we want you to take that bait. And Amanda, away too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrades Luther. We are going to call now the Gauteng convener, Comrade Musa Nobela. And after him, we are just going to close with prayer and we meet again. Thank you. Mandla. Mandla. Mayibuye. Mayibuye.
Mayibuye. Africa. Mayibuye. Africa. Zavalaza mutomusha auna tuto ya mahala zavalaza. Zavalaza umtomusha auna mhlaba zavalaza. Zavalaza mutomusha auna tuto ya mahala zavalaza. Zavalaza mutomusha auna mhlaba zavalaza. Thank you very much, Deputy National Convener. Let me take this opportunity to send our greetings on behalf of the consultation team in Gauteng to the national officials. With your permission, National Convener, I think what I heard from the submissions here today from the young people is that you have been given a mandate as the national officials to form a political movement whose character must be Africanist. Its form democratic and its content socialistic. National Convener, I think will have to take at some point as the national official, you must take a decision. Because out of all the consultation process that you have been going on with, the response to the question of should there be a movement that must be formed or not have always been a resounding yes. So maybe we need at some point in time to start looking at the process of formulating this movement, because that's what the rest of the country is telling you to do. But let me take this opportunity on behalf of the consultation process in Gauteng to thank each and every one of the young people whom on short notice, when they were called upon to come and make their submission and contribution to this process, came out in numbers without any excuses. I like the fact that today it's a Saturday. And young people did not choose to go and enjoy their youth in the streets. They chose to come and make a contribution to this process, and we must be able to appreciate that. Chair, I think I was also asked by the SGO to make this announcement that young people must eat. They must not go back to rest with an empty stomach. So I'm told that I must make this. Young people must eat. So every time national convener, you ask young people to come to a program, they always say this: young people must eat. So the SGO had advised that we must announce that there's going to be supper that's going to be served. So we must not leave the hall after the program is officially closed. We must remain where we are seated, and then the supper will be served in this very same hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, comrades. Thank you, leaders of the country. We are closing right now. We are going to ask our National Women's Wing of Mayibuye to close this session with prayer so that the Almighty can bless every young leader in here, guide them with courage, discipline, and love for the people. Comrade Nonhlanhla Dlamini, may you please close with prayer. Thank you.
Can we all stand up? Father, in the name of Jesus, nkulunkulu omuhle siyabonga. We thank you, Father, for this day. It was a successful day, Father. We thank you, Almighty God. Father, as everyone is going home, going back home today, siyacela meluso omuhle ukuthi everything that happened today ihlale engqondweni zethu. nkulunkulu omuhle, every question, every concern that we shared today with the youth. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that we received all the content and all the questions that will make Mayibuye to be able to understand the youth questions and the youth concerns. We thank you, Heavenly Father. As we are closing now, we thank you everything that happened today. We believe that this movement is going forward with a youth that is strong and with a youth that is courageous. We thank you, Heavenly Father. We pray in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Suzanne.